ask alumni, students, and staff to please stand as the LTU Blue Devils Marching Band performs the school alma mater, the LTU hymn.
This Lawrence Tech Athletics broadcast is brought to you by Chevy. Your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers are proud to be the automotive sponsor of LTU Athletics. Chevy drives the Motor City. Henry Ford Sports Medicine treats the whole athlete. To make an appointment, visit henryford.com/athletes. And Michigan First Credit Union. Michigan First offers a full range of financial products and services, including checking accounts, mobile deposits, student loans, and car loans. Visit michiganfirst.com for details.
The bye week has come and gone, and in the case of Lawrence Tech, it was a more than needed bye week. The Blue Devils had to really fight deep in order to knock off the Gyrenes of Ave Maria University by a final score of 21-19. Welcome everybody to our TV20 broadcast inside Blue Devil Stadium. John Snow alongside former running back at the University of Cincinnati, John Goebel. And John, talk about that last game. Alex Osmond, freshman quarterback, leading the way on the offense, and also Devin Isaac on the defense, led the way in tackles, and which secured that victory, their first win of the season.
Oh, it was a great game. You know, a lot was put on Alex Osmond, freshman quarterback out of Dearborn Fordson here in Detroit. You know, he had to step it up, but he did. He took the team under his wings, and C.J. Davidson helped him as well, a career rushing leader for Lawrence Tech. I'll tell you what, Coach Mitchell came in as defense coordinator. He had a big task against the Gyrenes. They ran 98 plays of offense. That's a lot to handle. And Devin Isaac, defensive end, really cemented himself as a leader, came away with that game. Sure, he was tired, had to ice up, but after a bye week, Coach Mitchell talked about it. They rested up. They're ready to go into this week number 3, trying to get another win under their belt.
Definitely rest was needed because incoming to Southfield is the 24th ranked team in the NAIA. That is the University of St. Francis. The Fighting Saints have a 2-0 record, all led by the Tumulty brothers. That's Sam at quarterback, Scott at the receiving end of the kickoff returns, and also their youngest brother Joey at the wide receiver slot. And it's the first time since 2019 in which both these teams have faced off. So you take a 3-year or 4-year gap and you put that all into today. What do you think the Blue Devils had to accomplish in order to knock off the 2-0 Saints?
Well, I'll tell you what, Mr. and Mrs. Tumulty, I'm sure they're here. Probably nervous, but they have nothing to be nervous about. Their sons have come together and are playing together. We think about the Kelsey brothers and how they played against each other in the Super Bowl. I can't imagine what it's like for them to be able to see their boys out there. But Lawrence Tech, this is a very big game. If you think about it, they lost to a very, very good Indiana Wesleyan team, came back, answered the call. Team flew in from Florida, Ave Maria. They came out with a win, had a week off. They're now rested. But that momentum can be carried throughout the season. I think if they come out with a win here, they now have a path into the playoffs. So that's going to be the goal as we come out of this one, John.
No, definitely the goal indeed. Lawrence Tech looking for their second win, and St. Francis looking for their 3rd in a row. Coming up next, it's the Fighting Saints of the University of St. Francis and the Blue Devils of Lawrence Tech.
Because every athlete deserves to be treated like a pro. Henry Ford Sports Medicine.
At Michigan First Mortgage, we believe a home is more than just four walls. It's endless possibilities, where relationships are strengthened and next steps are taken. It's a place to call your very own, where you can create new traditions and welcome family with open arms. And at Michigan First, it's at the heart of everything we do. Let us help you discover the possibilities of home.
From our very first breath, curiosity is why we question everything through barrages of whys and how comes. It now needs the tools to will its vision into existence. Tools that will forever allow curiosity to obscure the line between technology and magic. Be curious. Make magic. Lawrence Technological University.
Chevy Silverado has what it takes to do it all. With a TurboMax engine and a 13.4-inch diagonal touchscreen. Any truck can help you make a living. This one helps you build a life. Chevy Silverado.
Or GM employees with a current eligible lease can get this Silverado for $299 a month. Chevy drives the Motor City. Visit ChevyDetroit.com.
Welcome back, everybody. St. Francis and Lawrence Tech about to face off. But right before we send it down to the field with the third member of our crew joins us, it's Carol Lyles. Take it away, Carol.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of love going on here in Southfield tonight. Coach Mitchell celebrated his 22nd wedding anniversary with his wife, Ebony. And, you know, we asked him a little bit earlier on in the week, before we knew it was his wedding anniversary, Coach, what's a typical Friday night look like for you? Are you going to high school games? Are you chilling on the couch? And he said, you know what? If I'm not with my wife on Friday, I don't think I'll make it to see 23 years. So safe to say they hung out and got to celebrate their wedding anniversary last night. But a lot of love going on here in Southfield, John.
Thank you, Karis. We're definitely looking forward to this matchup. And to all of us here, we wish a happy anniversary to the Mitchells. And so for the third consecutive home game, Lawrence Tech will get the football to start things off. They had an explosive start in their first matchup against Indiana Wesleyan, but that was their only score. Different story against Ave Maria, but they had to fight back and win that one 21-19. The Fighting Saints with a perfect 2-0 record. After a dominant start, a 63-7 victory to start their season out, then a 17-0 finish against their arch nemesis, University of St. Francis out of Indiana. Brian Madej will kick things off for the Fighting Saints, and back deep is Devon Bentley and Nick Robinette. Afternoon football taking place nearby Detroit. Beautiful day with some sunshine and a few clouds. Bentley is going to let this bounce, and it goes into the end zone for a touchback. So the Blue Devils will get things going, started at the 20-yard line. And John Goebel, we talked about this. We spoke with Yvonne Mitchell, and he said he has a lot of high praises for his running back room because he has options aplenty, but he also gives a lot of high praises to his running backs coach, and that's Drake Berry, a former player from when this program first started in 2018.
Yeah, what an amazing story. You know, anytime a young program like this can have alums coming back and showing what, you know, their pride in the program, that's building something for the future. That's something foundational that is going to pay off as we move forward. But to have a coach, a former player come back, and the running back room, that is, you know, we're going to see it today, a cornerstone of their offense. They with C.J. Davidson, career rushing leader, and Devon Bentley, sorry. But it looks like Alex Osmond gets a nod out here at quarterback.
Second straight start for Osmond. Definitely showed out. Went for 2 touchdown passes in that game against the Gyrenes. C.J. Davidson sets up to his left. 3 receivers also to the left as well. And they will give it to Davidson to start this drive. Davidson able to cut the corner a bit, remains on his feet, and continues his run. He's going to be knocked out of bounds around the 40 And just about looks like he picks up the first down. And it looks like they're going to mark him just a bit short, but still a very strong run right there, as Davidson, according to Avon Mitchell, is almost averaging 5 yards per carry.
Can't go wrong with that. That is a great way to start the game. Anytime you can have a powerful run and keep your feet pumping, that is beautiful. Great blocking by the offensive line there.
All led by that center, Ryan Bear, is the anchor, as Coach Avon Mitchell mentions. So 2nd down 2. They give it to Davidson again, and nowhere to go on that one, as these Fighting Saints were able to corral him around that corner.
Yeah, it looked like C.J. Davidson. I saw what he was seeing. The defense was flowing, and he went for a cutback. But there's a high risk, high reward anytime you cut back upfield. I'd like to see you get a little north.
That was Nick Babutas who made the tackle on that one. So that sets up 3rd down and 3, and -1 yards on that play.
Big play here.
2 receivers lined up to the far left. Once again to C.J. Davidson. Davidson trying to lunge his way forward, and he's going to be stuffed up, probably gained a yard, and that's going to set up 4th down and short.
Yeah, it'll be an interesting call. See what we do here. I don't see the punt team getting ready. 4th down on opening drive, but had some great punts last week. I'll tell you what, it can be a weapon, so it looks like they're bringing them out now.
And they do bring on the punt team, and Carter Dixon will be sending away his first punt of the day. And back deep is Scott Tumulty, the oldest of the trio of Tumulty brothers.
Big bro setting things off. We'll see. Got to contain him. We'll see a good punt here, hopefully, for LTU.
Quick 3 and out for the offense, and now Dixon trying to get good field position. Tumulty is able to grab it. Works to the far side, able to get a block there. Trying to work his way through the crowd, and he's going to be brought down by Darian Murray.
Some fast feet right there by the Tumulties. We're going to see a lot of them, as you mentioned. And Big Bro, he looked like he was cutting back a little bit too much against the grain, but picked it up. So now we're going to see the other brothers here.
So first opening drive for the Fighting Saints from about the 36-yard line. And we see the second oldest, that being Sam Tumulty. And he's got his younger brother out there in Joey at the wide receiver slot. Back to throw. This is actually Carl Booth Jr., and he's going to find Joey Tumulty wide open, deep within Lawrence Tech territory around the 30. So they're going to go with their second-string quarterback, Carl Booth Jr.
Hey, great throw by Carl there. I'm sure Lawrence Tech was not anticipating that. Not sure why the change. Perhaps that's something we'll find out as the game progresses. But that was a great start, and still got the youngest Tumulty in right away.
Still multiple threats, no matter which way you look at it. They're going to give it to Keenan Haley, and Haley's going to be stuffed up and gain a couple of yards.
Yeah, so we kind of talked about it in the pregame. Lawrence Tech is coming off of playing 2 teams that ran a combined total. Game number 1, 96 plays of offense. Game number 2, 98. Now, the tempo of this is going to be a little bit slower. I wouldn't anticipate more than 85 plays on the highest end, but it's still a no-huddle offense. Lawrence Tech is used to that. Should be able to defensive ends catch their legs a little bit more on 3rd downs here.
Back again, and now he's going to run with it. And he's going to be brought down and right back at the original line of scrimmage, and it was Andrew Perkins in the middle of it.
Big Andrew Perkins, he's going to be all over the field today. Him and number 20, Matt Plaga, leaders of the defense. Dante Banton, number 0, defensive end, told me before the game he was ready to get after it today. So
there's a flag down right at the line of scrimmage, so we'll see. And this was after the play was over, so we'll see how big of an effect it will. go on.
Well, you know,
Unsportsmanlike penalty against the Saints, and actually it goes both ways, so those penalties will decline, and this will be 3rd down and 8. Finish your thought right there, partner.
yeah, I just wanted to say that might have been a reflection of the two teams' mascots today. The Fighting Saints versus the Blue Devils. Interesting one there.
So already things are getting a little bit chippy between both teams, and now there's a bit of confusion on the defensive side. And we saw that a lot within the first 2 games, the miscommunication about who was supposed to be in which position. And that forced Yvonne Mitchell to use a couple of his timeouts late in the game.
Looks like they might bring in pressure here. Oh, bluffing.
Back to throw. Bo Jr. has to scramble for it. Banton giving chase. Able to avoid the tackle, and he's able to throw it out of bounds. Deontay Banton, one of the captains and the leader of the defense, was all over him and forces 4th down, and this will be a possible field goal attempt by Brian Madej.
Yeah, high praises for Dante Banton from Coach Mitchell. You know, he calls him one of the top defensive ends in the country. Comes to us out of Pompano Beach, Florida, and you saw it right there, adding the pressure to cause a poor throw.
So this will be a field goal attempt by Brian Madej from about the 35. And that's a liner, and it's blocked in front. And it's going to be picked up by Chris Broaden. Broaden, past midfield. He's got blockers ahead, and he's out of bounds around the 45.
Woo, there you go. That's a momentum builder right there.
Broaden, one of the seniors and one of the other captains. He went to high school at Southfield A&T, just right down the road from there. And while we have a moment, ignite your future. And we'll get to that ad just into the moment as we look at the last play.
Yeah, it looked like that might have been Michael White with the block. It looked like they were coming on fast from the outside, maybe had a little bit of influence there, but heads up play by Chris Broaden, leader of the defense, and hey, that's a momentum builder. Just carried into the second drive and almost ends up like it was a 1st down, like they went for it on 4th from the first drive.
So from about the 46, Alex Osmond back in there with the offense. Communicating with his front line, puts Devon Bentley in the running back slot. 3 receivers to the right. They give it to Bentley. Bentley had a trio of defenders to try to go through, and he gains about 2 yards. And while we have a moment this time around, ignite your future at Lawrence Technological University. With cutting-edge programs, expert faculty, and limitless opportunities, we're shaping tomorrow's leaders. Join us in a journey of discovery and success. Be curious, make magic. Learn more at ltu.edu. So 2nd down and 8 for the Blue Devils. And this is the first time that they've gone into St. Francis territory. Osman looking down the field, and that one is incomplete.
Yeah, it looked like there could have been a little bit of miscommunication there. Or Alex Osman, he had a lot of pressure right in his face. Got the ball out to where nobody was. Might have been a heads-up play by the young freshman out of Dearborn-Fordson.
Charles Tigard was the only receiver that was closest to that throw, as it was into basically no man's land, and that sets up a long 3rd down.
It was number 80 and number 3. It was cover 1, so I stepped the outside.
So crucial 3rd down here to continue the drive. Osman looking down the middle, and he's got his man. That's Jalen Wallace, and he's got the 1st down inside the 30.
Yeah, Jalen Wallace, one of his favorite targets here. We're going to see a big, heavy dose of number 7 today. Great way to find the zone against a zone defense. So he sat in the pocket where nobody was. Think of Pat Mahomes, Travis Kelce. Find the open space and sit. Let your quarterback throw you a dart. 1st down.
So from the 26, Blue Devils are looking to strike first on a beautiful Saturday afternoon. Davidson back in. Play action. Osman looking to throw. He got hit as he threw, and that is going to be short and incomplete.
Ooh, I think he might have gotten away with a little holding there. Jalen Cooper with the tight coverage. See, they were in zone coverage before on the last play. This play was man. And I think, Alex Osmond had the right idea. Saw man-to-man coverage. I'm gonna hit my skill position. Jaden Rembrandt out of West Bloomfield. He's got great feet, great route running. May have gotten away with a little holding there on the defense, but second down now.
It was Jalen Cooper who nearly made a takeaway for the Saints. Osman quickly over. That's Nick Robinette, and Robinette's going to gain about 5 yards to set up third down.
Yeah, as a coach, I call that a chunk yard play. So sometimes on second and long, you just want a more manageable third down. So you just get a little chunk yard. Hey, a little 3-yard out route, sit in a spot. Now it's a more manageable third down and looks like 6 yards.
And interesting here, Matt Plaga, one of the top hitters, the best hitter, most violent hitter according to Yvonne Mitchell. He's now in for the offense. So we'll see what kind of play they run up here with a third down and 6. They give it to Davidson. Davidson trying to find the crease, and he gets ran into a wall, and he's going to be brought down. He probably gained a yard on that play, and this is going to be 4th down. And so this will be bringing out a possible field goal attempt.
Oh, I like the idea there. I really like the idea of bringing in Matt Plaga. Cornerstone of the defense there. I know I keep calling each guy a cornerstone, but I'll tell you what, he is a linebacker that's all over the field. I like that he stuck with the running game. And, he has a lot of confidence in this kicker here, Marko Matovsky.
This is Vincent Robeson.
Sorry, Vincent.
Fell from inside the 30. Good, solid kick up, and that one is good.
And you see why I went with Vincent on that and why the run was a smart choice.
Robeson puts it in. LTU cracks the scoreboard first with a 3-0 lead with 7:39 left to go. So a good offensive drive that led to grabbing points. You just want that on every single drive, especially to start off a game.
Yep, and you know what? Coach Mitchell, we talked to him in the off week. Turnovers, huge emphasis for him, and just a philosophy he lives by as a coach, and special teams. That's an area, it's 1/3 of the game he doesn't hold back on, and we saw right there the impact that a big special teams play can make with the block field goal attempt. You turn it around, offense has good field position, comes away with 3 points. 7 minutes left still in the first quarter.
Almost other terminology that he used was basically hidden yards. Basically the yards that most people don't think about, but that's also about battle of position on the field, and that's where special teams come in. To set up your offense or to give the other team a harder chance of coming back on an offensive drive.
Yeah, that's high-level football right there. That's not football 101, and that's something that us folks when we're watching on TV we always think about there. But that's how in the coach's mind right there.
So Dixon will send this away. 2 of the Tumulty brothers are back deep. It's going to be Scott Tumulty to make the grab about the 10. His brother Joey throws the block in front, and he's able to stiff arm. Tumulty still on his feet, a good spin maneuver, and he's going to be forced out of bounds right before the 30-yard line.
Good block by little brother right there. That was pretty cool. I can't imagine blocking for my big brother. Good field position here, so we'll see who comes out at quarterback. If it's Carl Bew again, I think he had a decent throw. No reason to sit him down unless they're just trying to confuse Lawrence Tech.
Sam Tumulty was registered to start. There was no news as to whether or not he is not able to play. So we'll see what comes of it. But in the case of Lawrence Tech, all 3 quarterbacks are technically still able to come out and play. We'll probably see Caleb Gardner, who was out in the previous matchup, but we also saw Ricardo Marble Jr., who did play in the last game, but then he went out with a bit of an ankle injury, so we might see him. Who knows? We'll probably see him warming up, but all 3 quarterbacks are technically available.
Yeah, I think they definitely took advantage of that bye week and the more experience here.
So it is Carl Booth Jr., and he's going to give it to Gavin Day, and Day's able to cut the corner, and he's going to be forced out of bounds at the 30 and gain a couple of yards.
Yeah, and something interesting today, we see number 59, Brody Snyder, out at middle linebacker, Sylvester Jones, might be out today for Lawrence Tech, but all these guys have experience. That's what we're coming out with, playing against two teams who ran 98 and 96 plays. You may have to rotate players. So these kids all got more experience now coming into this game. I think it's beneficial for them.
The official had to blow the whistle to force a substitution. So now a double running back option. 2nd down and 7. They're going to give it to Haley. Haley tries to move the pile forward, and he does so, and he'll be about 3 yards short.
Yeah, good strong run there. Definitely pushed the pile forward with his momentum, and love seeing a fullback in there, Gavin Day, number 43. Don't see it too much nowadays, but that's an effective play. Again, chunk play. Now it's just 3rd and short.
Gavin Day, a redshirt freshman running back at 5'10", 185 from Brighton, Illinois. Will sit out for this play. Keenan Haley sets up. They put a man in motion, and they're going to fake the handoff. Carl Booth Jr. still on his feet, and there goes Booth Jr., and he's going to take it all the way for the touchdown, and St. Francis goes on top. What a fake on the handoff, and Carl Booth Jr. takes it all the way.
Wow. So as this play was developing, I was about to say great film study by Lawrence Tech. They had everything drawn up right there, but what they didn't draw up was the substitution at quarterback, Carl Booth. How could they expect that? And look at those wheels. Buddy's moving. And that's a quick 6 right there. That's a dagger. That hurts.
With 6:05 left to go, Brian Madej looks to add on the extra point. And he does so. So 7-3 now the score, and the Fighting Saints have a response to the field goal on the previous drive by Lawrence Tech. And now the Blue Devils find themselves trailing.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this develops, as the game develops, John. Like Carl Booth, he's taken advantage of this opportunity, and it looks like, the offense hasn't changed. Sam Tumulty, he's a running quarterback. He does throw, obviously, and he's a returning starter, but he's known for his athletic ability. He can run the run zone option, the RPO, run pass option, and it looks like so can Carl Booth. So LTU has to adjust. It's one of those things. Every game you go into, there's the unknown, and that's what we're seeing here. So
now Brian Madej will kick things off, and again it's Devon Bentley and Nick Robinette back deep. But you take away how things started within the last matchup. It was a few miscues by Ave Maria that kept Lawrence Tech in the game. And here's an onside kick try, and this is going to be recovered by St. Francis. What an execution on the onside kick.
Oh, we are in for a good one today, John. The coaches aren't holding back. This is a gutsy play. First quarter, Lawrence Tech was not expecting it, and really they did the right things there. The special teams unit is well coached. They did the right thing, but great punt. I mean, hey, John, last time I checked, a football's not a round ball. It kind of bounces odd sometimes. So great kick and gutsy play. So hey, we got a football game, fellas.
Matthew Perry was the one who took it away. Just great reads and a couple of lucky bounces. So now the offense remains on the field for a second consecutive drive.
Quick turnaround for the defense. They're used to this.
Nearly had a man off sides. They fake it again, and Carl Booth Jr. again is going to run for it, and he's going to gain about 3 yards.
Yeah, they were ready for it that time, but, John, I wouldn't be surprised to see some of these trick plays. I think it is part of the identity of St. Francis. However, when you have a new quarterback in there, you want to give him an upper hand any way that you can, So get the defense off on their toes, expecting the unexpected, and so wouldn't be surprised if we see more of that today.
Haley remains in there in the running back spot. 2nd down and 8. Low snap, and it's bobbled, and they're going to mark him down as he went down to a knee to grab it up. So that will be a loss of yards, and it'll set up 3rd down and long. So an unfortunate play right there for Carl Booth Jr.
Yeah, it looked like a low snap. Again, anytime you have a different quarterback, the relationship between the quarterback and the center is clutch, and I think there's nothing you can really do on that one. But Lawrence Tech has a little bit more breathing room for a long 3rd down here. It would be a big stop for him.
This would force a definite punt, although we may not know. We'll see.
Yeah.
3rd down and 14. Real test of yards for St. Francis. Whistles blow and flag thrown in the bag, and it's going to be a delay of game.
Yeah, you know, in college, quarterbacks don't have a microphone in their helmet. In the NFL, they have a microphone. It does shut off, I think, 15 seconds or so before the play clock ends. But young quarterback, those are learning lessons that you have to pay attention to in college football. Got to know the play clock.
So now 3rd down and 19. They're going to give it to Haley, and Haley's going to be brought down, gaining some of that yards back on the penalty, and this will definitely force out the punt team.
Yeah, that Lawrence Tech defense, I am excited to see how they continue to develop and mesh, because what the improvement I saw from week 1 to week 2 was phenomenal. I mean, Coach Mitchell talked about how he practiced, the things he did to gear up for such a high tempo as Ave Maria, and these guys were bought in. And now they're trained for that. They're used to it. And so we're seeing how impactful that can be in game number 3 here.
So now Madej with his first punt of the day. Back deep is Jaden Renbert. Renbert is going to make the fair catch at about the 10, and that's where the offense will take over. So, but you think about how the couple of offensive drives for St. Francis, because that's really the first time this season that Lawrence Tech has been faced with an onside kick attempt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right. And I thought that they responded well. They did the right things. They handled it the right way. And for the defense to come up with a stop, that was big. I'm interested in the offense for St. Francis moving forward. It was interesting that they ran the ball on that 3rd down and long, but hey, they pinned it back. Now Lawrence Tech has to come back 90 yards to the end zone here.
You can almost consider that a win-win for St. Francis on both sides. They get another offensive drive, and now they're going to give things over to Charles Tabert, and Tabert's going to bring things up and get back to the original line of scrimmage. And while we have a moment, if you're curious about a career in engineering, your journey begins at the College of Engineering at Lawrence Technological University. LTU graduates have been making magic for nearly a century. 5 departments, infinite opportunities. Visit ltu.edu today. Be curious, make magic.
Yeah, that was Caleb Tabert on that play, and we'll see a lot of this. Coach Mitchell is able to change these stable horses at will because they're so good. Got a bunch of them.
Osman looking in the middle, and he finds his man in Bodie Thomas, and Thomas is able to gain about 5.
I like the play call. Now, if it's hard to do, but if Alex Osman was able to place the ball on his outside shoulder, as a quarterback, you like to throw the ball to where the receiver needs to go. And there was a lot of space if he would have turned to his outside there. But, hey, he got some yards. Great play by the defense to make a stop here, 3rd down.
3rd down and 5 for Lawrence Tech. If you have to make it to the red zone, finds himself deep in their own territory with the clock winding down, approaching 2 minutes. Osman, pocket collapse, and he is going to be brought down deep within the backfield. And that is Adam Nichek, the freshman linebacker.
Yeah, it looks like they are doing a lot of rotating here, and gets back there. You know, you would have liked to see him maybe throw the ball away, but it was a fast play, and now this is a scary place to punt from. Let's hope the snap is good.
That's correction. That was Michael Johnson. There was a number change at the beginning of the game. Johnson normally 52, now 56. Michael Johnson at the nose tackle position. Now Dixon from deep within his own end zone has to punt this away, and this is going to take a beautiful bounce deep within, nearby the 30, and that is a great sign for Lawrence Tech.
Yeah, officially, what, a 80-yard punt, not including the end zone there.
So that puts St. Francis, sorry to cut you off there, partner, but that puts the Fighting Saints back within basically a touchback range, and that will start their third offensive drive, fourth officially.
Yeah, so different from the first two games that we saw with Lawrence Tech, I believe that this game we're going to see a lot of this field position battle because these are two running teams. That's how they their offensive philosophy. So the clock typically is going to keep going, and it can be field position is going to be important, but I see man coverage here. They're really testing the quarterback.
Carl Boo Jr. remains in. They're going to give it over to Gavin Day, and Day is going to pick up about 6 as we're about 1 minute left in the first quarter.
Yeah, my apologies to Gavin Day because earlier I think I referred to him as a fullback, saw number 43, but on that play, notice his feet. He's definitely got the feet of a running back, so two good options there on offense and great run. Now it sets up a short second down.
Gain of 7 officially. Second down and 3. They're going to give it to Haley, and Haley, he's got an opening. Haley's going to be brought down past midfield and into Lawrence Tech territory. Solid run by Keenan Haley to set up the Saints to march down the field.
Yeah, and we were talking about this before the game, John. The offensive line, they're not the biggest offensive line that you'll see in college football, for sure. Led by their center, Peyton Norton, 230 pounds. So to me, what that tells me, speed. And they are going to try to confuse Lawrence Tech as much as possible. You got to tackle everybody. That's what Lawrence Tech needs to do.
They're going to run on one more play before the clock ran down. They gave it to Haley, and he is going to be brought down and loss of 1 yard. And that will officially end the first quarter. So we've seen a little bit of everything. Field goal for Lawrence Tech, a quick touchdown by St. Francis, and we'll be right back for the beginning of the second quarter right here on TV 20.
Because every athlete deserves to be treated like a pro. Henry Ford Sports Medicine.
From our very first breath, curiosity is why we question everything. Through barrages of whys and how comes, it now needs the tools to will its vision into existence. Tools that allow curiosity to blur the line between technology and magic. Be curious. Make magic. The College of Engineering at Lawrence Technological University.
At Alto Equipment, we know when it comes to getting your job completed on budget and on schedule, uptime matters. Alto Equipment has partnered with the biggest names in construction, including Volvo, Leeboy, Sonnebogen, Avant, ASV, and more to provide the state of Michigan with industry-leading service and support. Alto Equipment services all makes and models, and their technicians are available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Do you have a big project? Alta Rents has you covered with the most diverse rental fleet in Michigan. Give them a call at 844-GO-TO-ALTA today.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Southfield. Something very special that this LTU program does is called the Team Impact Program. And essentially what it is they offer young people with disabilities who are not able to play football to come here to LTU and really be a part of this football family. And this year it is the Somerville family. Parents Matt and Casey brother Sean, my apologies, who is 8 years old, and Owen, who is 7 years old. Owen was diagnosed with a multiple limb difference syndrome, which essentially means all of his limbs are a different length. So although Owen is unable to play football, being here at LTU and being a part of this family and program has meant so much to them, and just a great thing they got going here at LTU.
No, definitely. It's just a great experience and just great programs outside of the game of football in which Yvonne Mitchell has been able to put together. He is just focused on creating chemistry, whether it's with the team or with outside families. And as we get a third down setup for Carl Booth Jr. and the Fighting Saints, the defense for Lawrence Tech trying to create another stop. Back to throw. Booth Jr. looks to the middle of the field, and it's a low throw and right through the hands of Joey Tumulty.
Yeah, and John, to go back on that piece, you know, I was so impressed with Coach Mitchell, and he really cares about building character in these young men, and that is very, very important to him. When he has you know, this job, it's wins and losses matter, but he's the type of guy, you know, you want to send your kid to play football for. Knows the X's and O's, but does, you know, he wants to build them into great young men as they leave the program.
So second punt for Madej. Back deep is Renberg. Another good solid kick. Renberg's going to try to make a return out of it deep within the 10, and he's going to be knocked out about the 17. So the offense will take back over, and there's 2 flags in the backfield where the snap was taking place, so this might play into a factor.
Yeah, I didn't see anybody getting close to the punter, but could have been a holding.
They had one man really rush ahead and try to get at least an attempt at a block.
Yeah, it looked like if they didn't have a blocked punt on, Coach Mitchell definitely had a free release by, oh yeah, it looks like maybe a,
the officials are sorting things out as they go back to pick up the penalty flags.
That's one thing that Coach Mitchell talked about too, is cutting down the penalties. We saw a lot of penalties in game number 2, and this one's going to hurt because look at all those yards that they just lost, and the defense has to come back out on the field.
The penalties were against St. Francis, so they actually put Lawrence Tech into better field position to start this drive. So there must have been a hold on the punt attempt. So that will set up Caleb Gardner, who is back in at quarterback. As we are all corrected, the offense for St. Francis is back on. That was definitely a weird conspiring amount of penalties. So the drive continues for the Saints. So they're going to fake the handoff again. Booth Jr. able to avoid a tackle and has to be brought down by a duo of players for Lawrence Tech, and that's a first down.
Yeah, that was confusing, and multiple numbers here on both teams. And we'll notice the away grays by Lawrence Tech, or alternate jersey, and then brown. Usually you'd see white with the away team, but Carl Booth Jr., he's only a freshman. He's got some strong, powerful legs there.
Brand new set of downs deep within the red zone. They fake the handoff again. Booth Jr. trying to move the pile, and he's going to gain a yard.
He knew he was keeping it on that play. Right away, he pulled it back in. Something that, you know, Lawrence Tech, they're going to have to identify some keys that can help them to understand who's getting the ball, right? So when in doubt, you always say as a coach, tackle every runner. That will, you know, at least one of them has the ball. But I'm telling you, when you got offensive linemen in the way, you're huffing and puffing, it's hard to find out. It's hard to see who has the ball.
But one thing also to mention is that all the penalties they had in the last matchup, most of it was on special teams, because remember there was a 4th down punt try as we get a timeout called on the field by Joe Curry and the University of St. Francis. There was a 4th down play in which they were trying to get a punt off, and there was 3 false starts in a row that pushed them back even further. And there was a few more penalties earlier, just all on special teams. And for head coach Yvonne Mitchell, there was definite definite background of his special teams coordination. So you would think that he also really is hard on his special teams, especially here.
Yeah, I've never seen that in my life. I think 3 penalties on a punt in a row. Fortunately, it didn't hurt him too bad, but that bye week in between, it can either be a detriment to your season, if you don't take advantage of it, or it can really help to change the momentum of your season. And we were talking with Coach Mitchell. I think what he did was he used it as an opportunity to rest his guys. Rest. And let's watch our film. Let's look at every single mistake that we made. Let's look at our good plays and see what we could have done better. And it's really about coming into this week being a better team. It's almost like you had a preseason, two games under your belt. Now you're 1-1, and a new chance to set the path for the rest of your season here.
So 2nd down and 9 after the 1-yard run by Boo Jr. Play action, way deep, and he's going to have to throw it as he got brought down by Devin Isaac. And Isaac, remember, he got tossed out of the game against Ave Maria for a possible targeting, but due to the bye week, as we take a look at another play, they were able to review and challenge the call, and now Isaac is back in for this game.
Yeah, we depending on how much they have to pass, we might unfortunately not get to see his rushing ability, but we see it right there, number 21, Daniel Ghosh, the tight end H-back for St. Francis, that he slipped right past Devin Isaac. They've been running the ball. Usually the H-back will go and crack block Devin Isaac, but on that one he faked it, made it look like he missed it. He was slipping out to go for a pass route.
Boo Jr. And that pass got up, and it's up for grabs, and it's going to be intercepted. Lawrence Tech takes over. And there's a flag. This might be for excessive celebration, but we'll figure it out. And that was Deontay Bannon who came down with the interception. And if it was another thing that they definitely had to work on was a couple of unsportsmanlike conducts and also for excessive celebration towards the end of the last matchup. And Banton was definitely flagged for that. We'll see it for the moment. So Lawrence Tech will take over on the interception as we take another look.
Yeah, let's see here who got their hands up. It was a tip ball. See quarterback looking for the defense. That looks like big number 99, Jordan Lewis, getting the hand up. That's called a jump ball. You ever play basketball, you got to get the rebound, first man up. Good play. That's a turnover. Coach Mitchell, this is the character of his team. He wants turnovers, he wants special teams.
The officials are still having mild discussions about the penalty. The offense is not yet on the field, and that was, by correction, Thomas Lewis, the safety, free safety, came down with the interception. And that's going to back up Lawrence Tech within the 10.
Yeah, it seems like they're getting the ball down there a lot, but hey, turnover. That was a great opportunity for St. Francis to capitalize on the mistake of Lawrence Tech with the penalty on the punt return, but defense once again comes up with a very big play to turn the game back in their favor.
Play action. Osman looking deep down the field. He's got Renberg, and that one is knocked away. Beautifully covered by Matthew Perry down the field.
Yeah, Matthew Perry, he's one of the cornerstones that we'll see for St. Francis on defense. One of the leaders in tackles for him as a defensive back. And it looked like Lawrence Tech was trying to take one out of St. Francis's playbook there with the long run pass option fake and trying to take advantage of man coverage, but ball was a little bit underthrown.
So after a great coverage in the knockaway, it's 2nd down and 10. A duo setup of running backs, Devon Bentley and C.J. Davidson, surrounding Alex Osman. And now dropped on the snap. They're able to get it off to Davidson. And Davidson, he cuts the corner. And C.J. Davidson down the sideline. He avoids the tackle. Davidson in a foot race. And he is going to be brought down by Scott Tamalti as he is down inside the red zone.
Wow. remember earlier we said the ball doesn't bounce in your favor all the time. Well, that time it did for Alex Osman, and hey, I think it got the defense off just a little bit. Way to find daylight and put on the Jets. I think he doesn't want to see that getting tackled from behind by Tumulty, but he's a fast athlete. Saved the touchdown, and you know, now the defense actually has a shot here. But awesome play, great run.
First drive that ends up in the red zone for Lawrence Tech. And now we see Ben Britton lined up in the running back slot next to Alex Osman. They're going to give it to Britton. Britton trying to find a crease, but that crease got quickly smothered up as he gains about 2 yards.
You know what I love about these running backs and their running back room situation? Now, Coach Mitchell can't go wrong. They're all good. They all have, you know, things that are make them unique. But for a running back, they know that if they get a shot, they better make the most of it because, you know, once they rotate out, you know, you might go with the hot hand, and you gotta get what you can when you have the opportunity. Competition.
Second down and 9. The first down marker is about the 4-yard line. They put Wallace in motion. Play action. Osman with plenty of room, and he's going to take it himself, and he's going to slide forward, and he's going to gain about a couple of yards and be about 2 yards short.
That's what a solid run game will do for you, and some very, very large men blocking. They fake the run. Alex Osman had all day right there in the pocket, enough time to check all his reads. Number 1, number 2, number 3. Oh, hey, I have all this space right in front of me. Might as well get a couple yards. They can still get a first down here in the red zone. It's third down right now, though.
Third down and 4. You can almost probably tell that there was a lot more room to run, but yet Osman elected for the slide. They show pressure. Deep ball to the corner for Jaden Rembert. He makes the catch, but he stepped out of bounds.
Ooh, this will be a close one here. Nice dime throw. We see them practicing this every day. Got to get 1 foot in bounds here in college. In the NAIA. Willie Mays, ball right over his head, and he... Oh,
just a near step over.
Oh, I don't know. It looked like his back foot touched the ground first. We don't have replay here at in the NAIA, but that looked like his right foot may have touched the turf just before his left foot. His left foot was over the line, but it has to touch the ground.
So they will concede for the field goal, and it's put in by Robeson, and so LTU pulls within 1. But talk to me about this last drive. Do you get the feeling that Alex Osman, instead of going for the slide, he should try to at least leg it out for a few more yards and get the first?
Well, you know, what I like about it is that he knows himself. You know, play your game. Anytime you have a young quarterback in there, one of the things you got to try to keep them to not do is try to be a hero. They're going to be nervous. They're going to want to, you know, they don't want to take a sack. They don't want to throw an interception, and they get nervous. They do too much. So I don't mind that because they know what they got with Alex Osman. He's a pocket passer. He's going to throw the ball. He's more of a Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, whereas Caleb Gardner, I mean, hey, he would have been, you know, he probably would have been, you know, drinking a coffee here on 10 Mile by now because he's a fast runner. But you come away with points, and again, I think if we saw that replay again, I think that the toe might have touched on in the end zone first. But either way, coming away with points, that's big.
9:49 left to go. 2 field goals for Lawrence Tech. And probably their best offensive drive, led by the long run of C.J. Davidson. Dixon to send it away. Back goes Scott Tumulty. From inside the end zone, he's going to bring it out. And Tumulty down that far side. He's going to be wrapped up and brought down into the pile around the 30. And that's where the Fighting Saints will take over. So very aggressive run there by Scott Tumulty after catching it within the end zone.
Yeah, I was just thinking the same thing. I like the way he runs the ball. He's a big athlete, and we saw him hawk a very fast C.J. Davidson. Now, I mean, I know what it's like as a running back, and his legs were probably feeling like rubber there, but either way, power, speed. I love seeing both Tumulty brothers in the back receiving the kick. Now, we don't know what happened to middle brother, quarterback, but Carl Bu's doing a good job running this offense. It's a close game. And, hey, St. Francis, they're well coached. Coach Cooper, he's been there for a while now.
Joe Curry, the official head coach, this will be in his 12th year as head coach of the Fighting Saints. They're going to give it to Gavin Day. Day nearby the sideline. He got slipped up, and he is going to go back to the original line of scrimmage, might have gained a yard.
Yeah, St. Francis comes to us from Illinois, not to be confused with their rival that they played last week, the other St. Francis in Indiana. I'm sure that was a fun one to call.
Definitely a slow offensive matchup. The final score was 17-0, and it was only 3-0 at the half, and then 2 late third quarter and fourth quarter touchdowns by San Tumulty in order to finish up that one. And now this is going to be Gavin Day brought down and right back to the original line of scrimmage, a loss of a yard. And this is going to be third down and 10.
Yeah, it's interesting, John, that you bring that up about last week and the hard-fought game. And we're seeing that now. These two coaches, you know, defensive-minded, fundamentals, run the ball. You know, it's not a lot of flash. Now, they can adapt. They can make some different changes, and they can run some surprise on sides, but a little different philosophy.
Low snap, gobbled up there by Boo Jr., and he's going to be smothered up. A huge sack, and first one on it was Donald Dillon.
Yeah, he got back there fast. Ooh, looks like he just squeaked right through. They had maybe 6, looks like they had their 5 offensive linemen running back in to help. That's 6-man protection. I think they brought 7. So that means quarterback has to recognize that he's got to get the ball out quick. Anytime you have a new starter, a young freshman in there, that's a great heads-up call by the defense to try to force a bad throw or a sack like we saw.
So a quick 3-and-out. That's a good stop by the defense. And now Mayday, and we're going to get a whistle, and we get a jump for a false start. That's Alan Richards, the redshirt freshman.
Yeah, I love seeing we have starters out there on special teams for Lawrence Tech, and they're excited to see a penalty against the other team for once on punt.
So now back up 5 more. Renbert about midfield. They bring in the pressure, no contact made, and they're going to let this one bounce. Takes a beautiful one, and Rembert's going to pick it up on the bounce, and he's going to try and make a run out of it, and Rembert makes a good one. There's a flag down as Jaden Rembert is brought down around the 40, so we'll check the penalty.
Jaden Rembert, he's a weapon back there. Caught it on a bounce, tiptoed the sidelines, and that was a spread formation punt, and looked like Lawrence Tech brought a little bit of pressure. See what the call was. Looked like may have been on Lawrence Tech during the return.
Most of the time, if you're on special teams and it's on the run back, you would think it's more of a block in the back type penalty in which they want to totally get away from, and you force your own team to put their hands up saying that they're going to cut in front.
Yeah, John, that's a great point. I coached special teams in high school, and it's a hard block, right? Because you're going from trying to rush like they did on that to all of a sudden turning around. Your man is running full speed downfield. You're trying to catch up to him. You don't know if your returner is even going to try to return it. I think on that one they thought he was going to let it bounce, and sometimes it's better just to put your hands up and get in his way than do what is instinctual and try to make a big block. But it wasn't too bad of a penalty, maybe a 15-yarder.
So from inside the Saints territory to now back within their own. Alex Osman and the Blue Devils look to regain the lead here in the second quarter. They're going to hand it off to Davidson, and Davidson able to get for one tackle, gains about 5. And while we have the moment, are you curious on how data analytics can increase a company's profits? In the College of Business and Information Technology, data science is taught by experts in the field. Degrees in both the master's and bachelor's levels in business data analytics are not available at Lawrence Technological University. Be curious, make magic at ltu.edu.
It's future business right there.
Second down and 5. They put Tabert in motion. They go out to him. Caleb Tabert got around, breaks 2 tackles. He keeps moving on his feet, and he keeps spinning forward for the first down at midfield.
That's running back number 4, believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen. And that was essentially a swing route, but he was in motion going forward. I love that they stayed to double back look in the backfield for Alex Osman, and great fight there by Caleb.
So first down from the 49 of St. Francis. Two receivers lined up towards the left. They rush 4. They're going to give it to Devon Bentley, and Bentley's able to find the crease, and he's going to gain about 9.
Yeah, Coach Mitchell talked about preparing for this strong St. Francis defense who had just had a shutout. Looked like we got a little banged up there, but great patience by Devon Bentley there.
Second and 1.
Zone run. So St. Francis, they run a 3-down look. That means 3 defensive linemen and 8 linebackers and defensive backs. A lot of guys standing up.
Second down and 1. Osman looking to throw. He looks down the field, and it's tipped. He was intended down the field.
Yeah, I kind of hung on number 8 there because to me, it was, you know, they're asking you to run it on them right there. And I think that Coach Mitchell, this is going to be something that's going to be challenging for him each game. Each play is, do we run it on them? And they have been successfully. So this is a short 3rd down look. I think that they knew this would be short even if he didn't complete that last pass, and they might as well go for it.
That was off the fingertips of Charles Tigert. So now from 2nd and 1 to a crucial 3rd down and 1, they're looking for pressure. They rush the pack. They give it to Bentley, and Bentley's able to avoid. He probably gained the marker, and we'll see if he did.
So yeah, one of the challenges about going up against a 3-man front is if those 3 men, their job is to take up as much of the offensive line as they can, get blocked so that the 8 guys behind you are free to roam. And we saw it right there, how they can close and fill the gap quickly.
So they're going to go for it on 4th down. Patiently waiting, almost probably for a trick play to catch the defense off guard, and head coach Devon Mitchell is going to take a timeout to discuss this over.
Smart timeout. We saw it in the game number 2. Coach Mitchell, I think he does a great job with game management. We have 4 minutes to go in the second quarter. You know, a great place to take a timeout for a short 4th down. You want to make sure that you guys are prepared. And also on defense, hey guys, if they don't make it, this is what's going to happen. Here's our time. Here's how much time we have on the clock. Here's how many timeouts we have.
One interesting story I definitely want to bring up is Devon Bentley. Bentley, this is his 3rd year here at Lawrence Tech, and technically he's a redshirt sophomore. But when he's a transfer, he came over, but due to a technicality issue, he was deemed ineligible when he arrived, and he did not see action until spring of 2021. He missed all that 2021 season and did not play until 2022. And Coach Devon Mitchell fought hard because he realized the potential of this kid, and definitely and definitely fought hard and got his eligibility back. And now he's in a second year of being a running back for Lawrence Tech.
Yeah, that explains why he runs so hungry. I mean, when all you can do is practice, you get hungry. You're going up against the #1 defense probably on scout team, and he's being used now.
On 4th down, they give it to Bentley, and Bentley, he appears. Let's see where they mark him.
Tough run, depends on the spot here. Ooh, that looks...
It almost seems like the official put the ball down. They put it backwards a bit, depending on placement.
Yeah, a lot of big bodies down there as a running back. Usually those are scary piles to be in.
And it appears that he did not get the mark to gain, so it'll be a turnover on downs, and St. Francis will take over with 4 minutes left to go in the first half. And while we have this moment, Lawrence Technological University is continuing the Specs Howard School of Media Arts legacy. Whether you work towards a certificate or degree, or you take online or on-campus classes, you will learn the latest technology and gain hands-on experience. Specs at LTU prepares you for a broad spectrum of careers within the media industry. Visit ltu.edu/specs for more information. So St. Francis trying to possibly get one more score before the half, and that's going to be stopped up short for a second down play coming up.
Yeah, both teams have 2 timeouts left. 7-6, 1-point game. You know, this is where, you know, you'd like to have a passing game, really, so that you can stop the clock when needed and get some chunk yards and use your timeouts wisely.
Carl Booth Jr. has done great work and has taken over this game for Sam Tumulty. We have a low snap. Booth Jr. is going to run with it, and he's going to be stopped up. Gained a yard in the run, and it's going to set up 3rd down and 8.
It's a good block there by the right tackle, number 58, Ashton Sorgia.
Timeout called by Yvonne Mitchell. Quickly on it after that play. And we've seen him do this before. He'll call a timeout mostly on the defensive side because of probably a scene of setup.
Yeah, you know, I was just thinking about that. Right as I said, hey, it would be nice to have a passing game, I looked up at the clock and saw 3 minutes. And you know, if you have a strong running game, you can also milk that 3 minutes so that you basically score with 0 time on the clock. That's what a really strong running game can do. But got a 3rd down here. Coach Mitchell said, no, not on us. I'm not going to let you milk the clock down on us. We want this ball back, keep the momentum going, and get another touchdown. Or get a touchdown for the first time. It's good to come away with points, but
a couple of turnovers on both sides, but yet the defense on really both teams have really stepped up in the times of need, keeping this a low-scoring 7-6 game. 3:13 left to go. A little bit of cloud coverage in the area.
Yeah, we see these big boys sitting there on the bench. Those are the offensive linemen, and and the running backs. They get all the glory, right? They're the ones running the ball, getting the yards, getting interviews, but they don't do anything without the offensive linemen. They're their best friends. They take them to the movies and, you know, pay for their pops.
3rd down and 7. They set a man in motion. A little pass was knocked in front beautifully by Deontay Banton. And that's going to be 4th down. And out comes the punt unit. So great coverage by Banton.
Yeah, Deontay Banton, he said he was going to have a big game. 6'4", 245 pounds. This is a man that you notice when you're walking down the hall with him. He's a big boy, and he's got some wheels too. Now we see here, short little fake, and again, trying to slip him just past the defensive ends. I'll give you a secret hint here, John. Anytime the running back does little chips on a defensive end and slips right past him, it's because you're playing against really good defensive ends.
Lawrence Tech will get the football to end the first half, as they did get the opening kickoff to start this. And St. Francis will get the second half kickoff when we return to action past halftime. So with 3:04 left, you would definitely think that Alex Osman, Yvonne Mitchell, and company, they've got to have something brewing, because if anything, the run game has been there, but just not very consistently. And if it's one thing that has not been there, and which was there against Ave Maria, it was definitely a throw game.
Yeah, we see some big runs. They haven't been able to capitalize for a touchdown yet. But what it does for Alex Osman too is it makes his throws a little bit more manageable, because the defense has to respect the run. But again, here we see 3 defensive linemen.
Osman looking to the far side. He's got his man in Jalen Wallace. Wallace trying to move forward, ran into a trio of Saints, and he gains about 5 yards. And if it was one thing that Yvonne Mitchell mentioned at his halftime interview in the game against Ave Maria, he said one thing we definitely got to do is finish a football game. We got to finish our drives. We got to finish the opportunities that were given, and definitely on that last drive that was in the red zone, they should have definitely finished.
Yeah, it's great to come away with points, and but touchdowns are always great. But
Osman looking deep down the field. He was looking for Robinette, and Robinette, he got turned all over.
Yeah, I don't know, maybe some miscommunication. I know it looked like the pocket closed quickly, but back to this defense, what I'm seeing is a lot of brown jerseys. They are fast. They are moving to the ball, and they're making quick reads. Now, on that play, they recognize that it was a pass, and when you have 8 men dropping back into coverage on zone cover, that's why we're seeing these little passes, these short, long passes to the sidelines.
Davidson out, Devon Bentley back in. 3rd down and 4. Osman quickly dumped off to Bentley. Bentley was able to get around 1 tackle, but he's going to be stopped up a couple of yards short.
Looks like it might be another timeout by Coach Mitchell.
And it will be. It will be his final timeout of the half. Because with 4th down and 2 coming up, with under 3 minutes left to go, approaching 2, you got to think they've got to go for it in order to try to make an effort of scoring one more time.
I think that was a timeout to get the punt team ready, because this will be a huge punt for them. They got to pin them back, and with the threat that they have at the punt returning position, you have to have a good punt. Would have liked to get a 1st down there. That's a great stop by the defense of the Fighting Saints.
7-6 ball game, which has been very interesting, very slow developing compared to the fast-paced games we were used to in the first 2 weeks.
Yeah, this is a game that I like. I mean, I like this kind of football. To me, it's hard fought. It's going to be a battle the entire game. Who's going to give up first? Who's going to give up first? That's kind of how it is. This is the type of stuff you train for in winter conditioning.
So now Carter Dixon will send things away now to Scott Tumulty. Tumulty, a very dangerous return man. That one is a spinner, and that's going to go way out of bounds. A complete shank by Dixon.
Yeah, and we saw St. Francis didn't rush anybody. They were trying to set up a run there, or a big return there. And you would have liked to see him punt it a little bit further, but the plan was probably for him to pin him to the sideline and or out of bounds, just to negate the chance of Tumulty trying to score a touchdown there.
So with 2:12 left to go, we like to mention that coming up at halftime, Carol Lyles checks in with Coach Mitchell. We check out the Blue Devil Marching Band and so much more. Be sure to stick around. So for the Saints, they're looking to possibly get another score on. The one score came courtesy of Carl Boo Jr., the freshman quarterback sticking in for San Tumulty. They're going to give it to Keenan Haley, and Haley's going to rush the pile for a gain of 4.
You know it when you get hit by Matt Plaga. You don't forget that one. It's like running into a brick wall at Hazlitt High School, 6'2", 225, as a linebacker and running back, as we saw in the first quarter.
Coach Yvonne Mitchell called Matt Plaga the most violent hitter on this team. You will feel everything that he throws at you.
That means I like coaching this guy.
They're going to give it to Haley again, and Haley found the corner, and he's going to be knocked out of bounds about a yard short.
Smart play, get out of bounds, get all the yards that you can, get the first even, and then get out of bounds.
So they will give him the first down and move the chains.
Yeah, help your young quarterback. And again, hey, they're a running team. They have a young quarterback in. Throwing the ball isn't going to be their first option, but how do you still win when you only have 1 minute and 30 seconds to go? You get the defense to flow, and you get runs to the outside, get them out of bounds. Have timeouts left. Use them wisely.
Play clock is down to 5. We're able to get it off in time. Carl Booth Jr. looking down the field. He's got a man wide open, and a great catch along the line by Dezion Jordan to set up first and goal.
Yeah, Dezion Jordan, their second leading receiver, 6'4". They saw man-to-man coverage matchup here. Throw it up to your all-star and see if he can come down with it, and he did. That's a big gain.
Jordan, a junior out of Rockford. So prime opportunity for the Saints. But again, you would think with clock management, Lawrence Tech would still technically have another opportunity. Booth Jr. looking to cut the corner, taking himself, but he's going to be brought out about the 2-yard line.
Wow, great way to close. I thought that was a touchdown, John. When he first, I saw the corner of the end zone, and Carl Bugh, he's fast. He's got wheels, but this defense, they are used to playing against a fast offense. So we saw even defensive lineman Jordan Lewis making his way all the way out there to make the tackle.
They're going to bring in Scott Tumulty in the running back spot. And as we get more corrections, the previous timeout was taken by Joe Curry in St. Francis. So now officially Yvonne Mitchell will use his last timeout. So now both teams out of timeouts because, again, I brought this up before in a similar situation. You've got over a minute left to go, and you're on a goal line stance. There's a certain scenario that only works in a few opportunities, and that is just letting the team score so that way that gives you more time to possibly have a score before the end of a half.
Yeah, you might see that with the legendary Mouse Davis of the 80s, the run and shoot high Houston offenses back in the day, but something tells me Coach Mitchell, defensive coordinator, doesn't want anybody scoring on him. This is character. This is statement. I tell my defense in high school, I say, what's your adjective? What's the word that's going to describe how you play, who you are? And we got a goal line stand here, and this is what your big boys up front. This is what they practice for, and really the field is condensed, so it's in the defense's favor. Space is the enemy of the defense, so it makes it more challenging for the offense too. You see there that there's no gaps in the offensive line.
They're going to hand it to Tumulty, and Scott Tumulty breaks a tackle, and he's going to pound his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So Scott Tumulty, he's been running all over the place, and he adds on to the Fighting Saints lead up to 13-6.
This is tough. Look, the handoff's not great. He doesn't wear any elbow pads, no gloves. Get out of my way. I'm scoring. I got to show my little brothers what toughness is all about. Good run there.
So Brian Mayday for the extra point. And he puts that one through, so 14-6, but still plenty of time left. That only took 6 seconds off the clock, and now 1:14 for Lawrence Tech to possibly make this a close game going into the half.
Yeah, you're right. We saw 2 possessions, and only a minute went off the clock. And these are running teams, right? So no timeouts left, but you're right. There is still time. And Alex Osmond, he's got an arm. We've seen a lot of runs, but I see the way that he practices with his receivers, and there's a reason why he got the nod today. I wouldn't be surprised if they go for something on play number 1, maybe go for either trick play or something deep, and depending on the outcome of that play, I think it'll determine if they just want to run the clock out or try to score before the half.
St. Francis will get the ball to start the second half. Devon Bentley and Nick Robinette back deep. Lawrence Tech has been able to keep this close. This is the number 24th ranked team in the NAIA, and they are picked to finish second in the Mid-East division of the Mid-States Football Association. A little chip shot, and it's going to be caught. And the whistles blow, and they're going to mark him down. I don't believe there was a fair catch called, or they might have accidentally done that. So Lawrence Tech will set up from about the 30-yard line for their final drive of this half.
Didn't see a fair catch call there, but that's kickoff number 2 by St. Francis, and that's a second non-traditional kickoff that we see. So they're either covering something up that they're worried about. Maybe their kicker can't kick it very far. Maybe their coverage isn't great, or they're nervous about the returners, or they're just trying to win the game, most likely.
Sometimes it's just about gamemanship and just a chess match between both head coaches. That was Charles Tigert who made the catch on the short chip shot.
And now we see here again this defense with only 3 defensive linemen down. This gives you the opportunity where really they have 3 safeties almost up top.
They're going to rush 4. Osman looking down the sideline. He's got Jaden Rembert. He got the foot in. What a catch by Rembert. And he's at midfield.
Wow, talk about body control. Come down with it, young man. I like it. Got his toe in bounds. You practice that one. That's one that you practice at your mom's house on the couch by yourself, throwing the ball in the air, tiptoeing it in. Great play. Stop the clock, too.
Right at the LTU logo. Osman again. They rush the blitz. In the middle of the field, there's Mauricio Jenkins. And Jenkins is nearby inside the 30. They're going to have to rush. The clock actually stops with 1:02 to reset the chains. And now the clock continues to wind down. We're under a minute. LTU with some quick offense and some great catches. First by Rembert, then Mauricio Jenkins. Osman looking down the field. Pocket collapse, and he throws it out of bounds.
Toughness out of Alex Osman, too. He stayed in the pocket, took a big hit, got the ball to his man. We'll see right here. Eyes are downfield, took a big hit. Great pass and concentration by Mauricio Jenkins, the senior out of Royal Oak, transfer from Wayne State University. Now, he's more of a run blocker, but he's got wheels, he's got good hands. He's a reliable target for the quarterback, giving them another chance to put points on the board.
46 seconds left to go. Lawrence Tech trying to make this as close as it can be. Osman got hit as he threw it, and he threw it out of bounds, able to give it away before taking the sack. 40 seconds now, but third down.
I'm impressed with Alex Osman's pocket presence. The way he just handled that, he stepped up in the pocket, didn't give up on the pass. That's something that young quarterbacks will do so easily is they get scared, right? And then just run it. Well, no, let your receivers get open, right? You moving up in the pocket's actually going to draw the defense closer to you, and it gives you another chance, right? And he got the ball out of bounds, stopped the clock, and now it's third down. He's playing smart football.
Osman again. He finds in the middle for Jalen Wallace, and Wallace tries to stay on his feet. He keeps breaking tackles, and he's brought out of bounds at the 20. Clock stops for 30 seconds, but this sets a fourth down.
Good fight. Got out of bounds, got the ball out quickly. Knew he had to get out of bounds because the clock would have kept going. Sometimes it works that way. Now it's fourth down. Oh, they kept the offense out.
No timeouts for either side. They're trying to really make a huge impression before this half comes to an end. 2 field goals are the only points. Osman, pressure inside the pocket. There's Jalen Wallace. Wallace leaps in. He's got the first down. It's going to be first and goal for the Blue Devils.
Wow, we'll see right there. Wallace, that was a great route. He actually good play. They're going to hurry up here.
No time to waste. Osman with the spike. Clock stops with 20 seconds.
This is going to be a great replay here. I knew that they had to have had something. They knew that something was going to be open because they rushed the offense out on a 4th down. This is a gutsy call right there. See, he falls, but they knew that that was going to be an open spot. This is why we practice down-ups. Young football players out there, it's not just to do conditioning because in football, you might fall down during a play. You got to get back up. The play's not over. We see it right there. That was almost a touchdown. I am very impressed with Alex Osman.
On the 2-yard line, Lawrence Tech in prime position. They were not able to convert in the red zone. Osman, he got hit on the rushing edge.
Come on, Reese, the junior. He was unblocked. That might have been Osman's inexperience right there. Got to know the open man. Hurry up.
They got to quickly snap off the. They're going to run one more play. They're going to throw it up for grabs and try to make something out of it. Jaden Rembert trying to keep in bounds, and he fails to do so. So when they get it on the 2-yard line, Lawrence Tech unable to punch it in, and the score remains 14-6. And that is how the first half comes to an end. Very interesting that there's a flag down. Both teams were heading off the field. This could be interesting as the teams now return back to their sidelines.
Lawrence Tech I'm seeing some positive emotion on Lawrence Tech's sideline. Looks like
if this is a penalty against St. Francis, this could potentially put time back on the clock, but it won't. It's an unsportsmanlike after the play was over, so that will be enforced on the kickoff for the second half. But again, I need your quick thoughts about these red zone opportunities and not coming away with the major points.
Yeah, that's a tough one, right? I was just complimenting Alex Osman on his maturity, and it's not on him. That's a tough, really 0 timeouts. You get the ball on your own 40-yard line, and you got to march it down in 1 minute to end the half. That's tough. I think he could have maybe spiked the ball and set up a field goal, but great stop by defense.
We lead into the halftime, but we send it down. Standing by with Yvonne Mitchell, it's Kara Lyles. Kara?
Coach, 2 field goals into this game. How do you need to get that ball into the end zone? How are you going to do that today?
We just need to complete drives. I think we're moving the ball very well. We had quite a few explosive plays. Once we get down inside of the 20s, we got to be better in the red zone. So we can't trade field goals for touchdowns. It's a very good team over there, so we're going to be focused on really, finishing drives. Like even this last one, we're running low on the clock, but we got to find a way to punch that in.
You said earlier in this week that, a key to winning this game was stopping their quarterback. How well do you think you've done so far today?
We've been okay. They got their second-string quarterback in, but he's very similar to their starter, and he's explosive as well. That one big explosive, can't take it back now, but we got to prevent it. I think we've been doing well corralling him since that time, so I think we've been doing a pretty good job. Defense made some very, very big plays that held us down in this first half.
What's the focus heading into this second half here?
Biggest thing is the finish. We got 30 minutes to play. We have to execute. We got to minimize penalties. We need to continue to take the ball away, and we got to rush the ball. We got to run the ball a little bit better than we're doing so far.
All right, thanks so much, Coach. Good luck.
Thank you.
Well, it is band day here at LTU, so we're going to send it on over to the LTU band. It's been a busy week here at LTU, a lot of home events, a lot of home games, including the LTU Grand Prix. So we'll have all of that coming up here at halftime.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the home opener of the 2023 season for Lawrence Tech women's soccer. Blue Devils tonight are opening up a 5-game homestand to lead into conference play. However, on this opening night, Lawrence Tech will have their hands full as they take on last year's North Division and regional champions of the Women's Midwest Athletic Conference. It's the Spartans of the Michigan State Club soccer team. So now Emily Woods. Shot in and good. Stab out there by Marasco. Reflection on that pass off the leg, and there's Emily Woods. That's a good ball up. That's going to force out Schoenstein, and she makes the sliding grab. Anna Paget starts this game. Has made a total of 3 other appearances. Sends this one deep into the box. On a bounce, and the miss shot, and they score! Anna Paget puts it in from way deep, and the Blue Devils strike first late in the second half. And in this exhibition matchup, the Blue Devils have knocked off the Spartans with a late goal courtesy of Anna Paget. Off the free kick and on the bounce, the Blue Devils beat Michigan State's club soccer team, last year's North Division champions and regional champions, who had a perfect season.
Bowie, nice back to Silvestre. Silvestre in the penalty area, takes a cut, takes a shot, and he scores. Okay, or make that Ferrano rather. Still service ahead, and there's the goal for the Blue Devils.
Beautiful setup right there by Reese Still, and then the put in.
Countdown is on. Malachino will have one last boot to go. Blue Devils 5-1 on the year as they get the win over the Trojans. The Taylor Trojans by a final of 3-0.
All right, I'm joined now by Scanner. You're able to score the first goal in this one. How did that really set the pace moving forward?
It was a good start to the game. To score this early, it was important for us. Things didn't go our way a bit after. We were a bit slow, but 3-0 clean sheet. We'll take it for now.
You were able to get the win. It's your guys' home opener. So, what does that really set the pace? What do you want to keep seeing from this team moving forward?
We need to stay motivated. We've had a good start. We won some games. We've got this little momentum going, so we need to keep it up. And just stay motivated, keep that momentum going, really.
Yeah. And what adjustments do you want to make moving forward?
I think it's more keeping the fact that the game's 90. We can't play 20 minutes good and then play only a half. We got to play good for the whole 90. And if we don't do that, then we're going to be put in difficult situations like here. So just keep it going.
Yeah. Well, congratulations. Enjoy this one.
afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Blue Devil Stadium, where the 2023 season of Lawrence Tech women's soccer is underway. Blue Devils are officially opening up a 4-game homestand that will lead into conference play, starting with an afternoon non-conference matchup against the Scots of Alma College. Lawrence Tech, Ferguson tried to cut in front, and she puts it in! What a goal by Kathleen Ferguson! And Lawrence Tech strikes first, 1-0. That's a good ball up for Ferguson. And off the chest, it's a loose ball, and Ferguson's gonna put it in for her second goal. Kathleen Ferguson, her second goal of the day, and it's 2-0. Ball up to Deanna Hill with a clear lane. Deanna Hill able to work around. Hill into the box. Quick shot, and there's a goal for Deanna Hill. The fifth-year senior, now with the team leading 4th goal of the year. And it's 3-0 Lawrence Tech. That's a good ball up. Jenny Deere now into the box. Megan Rumia, quick shot, and there's a goal for Megan Rumia. 4-0 Lawrence Tech. Into the box, was knocked down in front. Quick shot in by Jarosek. Rumia with a rebound. Another shot, and there's another goal. Megan Rumia, her second in as many minutes. And it's 5-0 Lawrence Tech. By McCluskey. Quick shot in by Rumia. Off the crossbar. It's still loose. Korzinski puts it in. Sam Korzinski, the junior from Bloomfield, puts it in. And it's 6-0 Lawrence Tech. Lawrence Tech with a dominant second half victory over the Scots of Alma. They win this one by a final of 6-0.
So this here is the LTU Grand Prix. It's something that our school puts on, and it's mainly run by the combustion team that's also at our school.
Right now we're at the Lawrence Tech Grand Prix. We're just waiting to get our car tech inspected so that we can get out there, run some laps, and have some fun.
What goes on here is we just have all the cars from the surrounding area, they come out and then they try to set a lap time, and then whoever gets the best lap time wins.
I think we can expect to see a lot of cool cars going around the track. We've got many prestigious universities here running their cars. It's going to be a very interesting learning opportunity for everyone. We'll get to talk to some of the people on other teams, get some design tips.
So this here is our 2023 electric vehicle. This vehicle was designed and built by last year's team, but we're still here working on it, testing it, trying some new things out, trying to figure out everything so we can learn for our project, so whenever we build a car and compete with our car in May, we'll be able to have a better learning experience here.
Actually, we're running the 22-23 car right now. But this is the one that actually ran at MIS back in May. But this is, we have a full carbon fiber body panels with a steel tube chassis. We have dual radiators, one on each side, and then a front mounted oil cooler. And we're running a 2017 Yamaha R6 engine, 600 cc's.
each driver has to go from fully belted in the car with the car in a running condition to fully out of the car with 2 feet on the ground in under 5 seconds before they're allowed to run. Time starts when I say go, time stops when you got 2 feet on the ground. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go. 3.4. So each driver, like I said, has 5 seconds to get out of the car. He did it in 3.5, which is among some of the faster that I've seen. So pretty good.
I'm about to do a brake test, so we just have to get to around 30 miles an hour and lock up all 4 wheels. It's a little bit nerve-wracking, but I mean, worst comes to worst, we just try again, right? So it'd be nice to nail it first time though.
Alright, so we finally got our car running today. Got our clutch issue sorted out, and then after that we had a dead battery, but we quickly replaced it. We should be running up and good now. Yeah, we're gonna have some fun.
I think it went pretty well. We finally got a clean lap, no cones. It felt fast, but I know there's a lot of fast teams out here.
Things went really well. I'm really happy with my team, how they came out and performed, even if we didn't make the podium. It's still great to see all the teams come out, do their best, show off their vehicles. It was a real fun time for everyone, and it was real good to rip some fast cars around the track.
I think what surprised me most was I was not expecting to have such a great facilitator. I was not expecting to have an individual in a leadership role just truly embody those characteristics and just truly embody character. Dr. Patty Costella has been renowned. She's been amazing. Another thing that surprised me about the program were the people. It's really nice to see that the world is a lot smaller than you think. It's nice to meet people who are down the street that you didn't realize were there. It was an easy way to network, and networking can get pretty uncomfortable. So the program definitely created, again, that environment that allowed for us to just kind of be people and just talk. To become the leader that you always aspired to be, enroll in this program.
Unless you're doing a dissection is the only time.
That's right.
Yeah, so warm shot.
I love to teach, and I love to also share this field with so many others. And having this unique opportunity to have students come into the Orem lab and practice on a regular basis has really shown the value of high fidelity simulation in perfusion training.
Guys, I'm ready to go ahead and take this cross clamp off if you're ready. Coming down. All right, close down. Currently an LTU student with the cardiovascular perfusion program. We graduate in 2024. So today we're going to be doing a simulation of cardiac pulmonary bypass with open heart surgery. I'd like to be highly proficient as a cardiovascular perfusionist when I'm done with this program. Today we're going to be working on a brand new pump that hasn't been released in America till last week. These students from Lawrence Tech are going to be the first students in America to actually pump on this new Essence heart-lung machine. Everybody comes out with a new pump, I'd say, from the industry every 10 to 15 years, roughly. This one is going to be heavily integrated between the charting system
as well as the functionality of the pump, the looks, the modular design. So one of the big factors is it's a mass mounted pumps, so that we can get everything kind of situated closer to the patient. This cuts down on priming volumes, helps to limit the amount of blood reactions to foreign objects like the tubing that we use every day to make this a possibility.
Today we'll be doing a bypass simulation run with massive air embolism, and I'd love to be proficient in the field, potentially giving back in any way I can.
We support the body with the pump as the heart, and then we also support the body with our artificial lung, which is called an oxygenator, and that takes over the function of the lungs. So this heart-lung machine literally is as its title. It takes over the function of the heart and lungs for the patient. Outside of that, we hope that, this is a great showcase of what we're doing with these students and amazing things with Lawrence Tech University. Thank you.
From our very first breath, curiosity is why we question everything. Through barrages of whys and how comes, it now needs the tools to will its vision into existence. Tools that allow curiosity to blur the line between technology and magic. Be curious. Make magic. The College of Business and Information Technology at Lawrence Technological University.
At Michigan First Mortgage, we believe a home is more than just four walls. It's endless possibilities, where relationships are strengthened and next steps are taken. It's a place to call your very own, where you can create new traditions and welcome family with open arms. And at Michigan First, it's at the heart of everything we do. Let us help you discover the possibilities of home.
Welcome back, everybody, to the second half. 14-6, a low-scoring affair between the University of St. Francis of Illinois and Lawrence Tech. John Snow and John Goebel back with you for the second half. And Lawrence Tech will kick things away from midfield due to the unsportsmanlike penalty at the end of the first half. And you got the Tumulty brothers back deep for them, Scott and Joey, the oldest and the youngest. And both have played a few roles in this game so far.
Yep, you'd like to almost be able to kick off, do a field goal from here, John, but that's not allowed. So, yeah, we see what happened after the last possession there. Didn't get to capitalize on it. Coach Mitchell mentioned can't trade touchdowns for field goals.
This one's kicked back, and this is going to go out of play into the end zones for a touchback. We're going to send it down to the field where Kara Lyles is standing by. Kara?
Yeah, guys, Eddie Bajorquez is a grad transfer student here at LTU, originally from Glendale, Arizona. So when the camp started, he had to make that drive, but thankfully his girlfriend of 3 years, Alexis, was able to make that trip with him, and thank goodness she did, because 10 hours into their drive, Eddie proposed to Alexis, and yes, she did say yes. And when talking to Coach a little bit earlier in the week, he said, man, thank goodness she said yes, because how awkward of a rest of that trip would that have been? So, such a cool story for both of them. And, we mentioned Coach's anniversary a little bit earlier on. So much love here in Southfield today, John.
All the love indeed. And we'd like to wish Eddie Bajorquez and his girlfriend Alexis, now new fiance, the best of everything.
What a great story there.
Carl Booth Jr. back in there. Gives way to Joey Tumulty. Tumulty is able to cut the corner, keeps spinning his way forward, and he gains about 8.
Yeah, we didn't see a ton from the youngest Tumulty brother here in the first half. Again, the middle brother, quarterback, Scott, is not in today. We have Carl Bew in, freshman out of Joliet West in Illinois. He's done a great job taking over, but youngest brother, Joey, had a decent run right there, about 7 yards.
2 targets for Tumulty, resulting in 33 yards back in that first half. They're going to give it to Haley, and Keenan Haley's going to power his way forward for a first down. And the quick numbers on Carl Booth Jr. He's run for 84 yards, and he's thrown for 68. You would think this is the dual threat that they wanted to incorporate into this matchup and maybe give Sam Tumulty, the middle of the Tumulty bunch, the day off here.
Yeah, he's done a great job playing a similar game. We're not seeing them have to change their offense a whole lot, and this is the most you could ask for a young quarterback to come in and do that in the first half.
They give it to Haley again, trying to go towards that corner. He's going to be knocked out of bounds after a gain of about 4.
Great blocking there by the offensive line. They really washed out the defense, but great play by the defense as well. Not letting any gaps show up. That's the risk that you have as a defender. You want to fight. You don't want to fight pressure. You want to take the easy route and make a big play, but they did a good job and pushed him to the sidelines for a short gain.
2nd down and 7. Haley once again is able to slip off his own lineman to able to power his way and get about 2 yards short of the line to gain.
Yeah, we're going to see a good dose of Keenan Haley there today. He had 7 carries in the first half for 43 yards. That's 6.1 yard average. I'll take that every day of the week.
3rd down and 3, just about at midfield. Once more, it's Haley. And Haley's going to be brought down right before the mark to gain, and it's going to set up 4th down and 1.
Almost lost the football there, too. Way to hold on to it at the end. He was fighting for that extra yardage. Got the pleasure of meeting Mr. Haley's parents at halftime. Seemed like great folks. Came over from Joliet, Illinois to watch their son play here in Metro Detroit.
They bring out the punt team with Brian Mayday, and they're going to kick it all the way to Chris Broaden. So good stop by the defense to prevent any further marching of St. Francis down the field.
If you're LTU, this is the way you want to start the second half.
That one's going sideways, a little spinner along the line. It's going to go out of bounds just about at the 16-yard line. They actually mark it right at the 21. So decent field position for Alex Osman and company.
Yeah, relatively for this game, that is decent field position because they've gotten the ball within the 10-yard line multiple times today. But this isn't great field position either. Now that is the way you want to start in the second half and really build upon that momentum that they had at the end of the second quarter and do what Coach Mitchell said they needed to do, trade field goals for touchdowns this time. Finish.
Osman is 11 of 18 with 112 yards passing. He's got plenty of wide receivers and also running back options. Plenty of options collectively on this offensive unit. They're going to give it to Ben Britton on this first drive, and he's going to be stopped up after gaining about 2.
Yeah, when we look at the stats from the first half, you and I were talking about it, and they look good on both sides. The stats and the numbers are good. Really, for Lawrence Tech, Alex Osman, 11 of 18, 112 yards. The only thing I don't like to see is the 0 for touchdowns. Now, I like to see 0 interceptions. That's also good, but all they need to do is just finish on these drives. They had a really good first half, though, other than that.
They bring in C.J. Davison. Davison's had a good game, running for 91 yards total. 2nd down and 8. Take the handoff quickly out to Jalen Wallace, and he's going to get the first down. The chains will move along.
Yeah, we talked about it in the first half. They run a 3 defensive line defense with 8 men in coverage. They like to play zone. They will switch it up and do a little bit of man, but what that opens up is you're going to see a quick throw where a man sits in a spot. You're not necessarily going to be hitting him on the run. That would be more of a man-to-man coverage route. So they like to sit in an open spot whenever you're playing against a zone defense.
They're going to give it to Davidson. Davidson's able to find the crease, and he's able to be knocked down right around the 40 and gain about 7.
Yeah, they have a plethora of running backs here, but C.J. Davidson's the bell cow. He's the one that you're going to ride to the championship here, and all-time leader in rushing. It padded to the stats in the first half. Quick and easy first down. Now it's a short 2nd down.
2nd down and officially 2 left to go for Lawrence Tech to try to continue their drive. They've reached the red zone 3 times back in the first half and were not able to convert within the end zone. They give it to Davidson again, and he got pummeled, and that is Scott Tumulty. He is all over the place, and he shows the big hits.
I like the way he plays football, kind of like a Swiss Army knife. If you look at him, he's not too big. He's not too small. He almost looks like like a linebacker, but he's got the speed, as we saw. He hawked down C.J. Davidson, a very fast man. So he's all over the place. He's tough and a great leader for St. Francis.
Tumulty, a graduate student, and as we mentioned, the oldest of the trio, the Tumulty brothers, 5'11" and 205. So 3rd down and 1. Play action. Osman looking deep down the field. He's got Jaden Renburn, and it's just a bit far. Trying to go for the big one, and it's 4th down.
Ooh, he had one there, Johnny. Just missed him. That pass was influenced by the rush there. Now Alex Osman can hit that throw. That's something he can hit with his eyes closed. But it was just a little bit off. I think he had to rush it due to the blitz by the defense.
So now 4th down. The offense remains out there. This is critical. You don't really want to give over on downs within your own territory.
Trying to get him off sides.
And the flag is thrown for a false start. A little bit of movement, and it's going to cost them back 5, and that will force Yvonne Mitchell to call out to the punt unit.
Yeah, that's smart coaching right there. You know, that's part of it. You know, they could have gone for it on 4th. I was thinking the smart thing to do is try to draw them offside. You see there, they had a play drawn up. You would have liked it if your own guy didn't go offsides and maybe you had a chance. But either way, this might work out better for them anyway. They have more room to punt. But Tumulty in the back, he's a weapon. You got to cover.
Dixon, his last punt was a shank and didn't go really anywhere. This one's more of a liner. End over end. Tumulty with the grab. He's going reversal. A flag is thrown. Tumulty's able to stay on his feet. A second flag is out. And Tumulty should casually run this out of bounds. Right about the 22-yard line. And now a 3rd flag is thrown. Flags have been flying for a majority of this game and early on here in the second half. So the officials will have to assort a lot of these penalties.
Yeah, it looked like a confetti party out there with all those flags. I don't know if maybe we got to throw a couple more down, but looked like maybe some blocks in the back. Tumulty, he's one of these dynamic returners where he as a coach, you want to tell him, hey, get north, get the yards. You just ran 30 yards to get -1, but then he busts one for a 65-yard touchdown, and you kind of say, okay, well, I guess you just got to do you sometimes. And you'll take that as a coach when you have a dynamic athlete like that. You can't cap it, you know, so sometimes it comes back to bite you in the butt, but here you go. That's a good one for you. But here we see that Lawrence Tech may have caused that last penalty. I don't like to see that because I think the first 2 was on St. Francis.
One of these penalties will be enforced unless all 3 are against the same team. Because if it's an even amount of penalties, they normally would offset if it's against both teams. There's the block in the back. That one's declined. Another hold. And it feels like both of these will be enforced and offset. But it'll be 1st down for St. Francis after the end of this. And the last one was an unsportsmanlike call against Lawrence Tech. We've seen 3 unsportsmanlike penalties thrown, and 2 of them have been against Lawrence Tech.
Yeah, the game of football has changed. These aren't when we call these are penalties that are unsportsmanlike conduct. I think when I was growing up, you know, back in the 90s, early 2000s, an unsportsmanlike penalty was only called when you're doing something egregious. You know, you're punching somebody. You're really late hitting somebody. But nowadays, the rules have changed, obviously, to protect the players. You want to minimize the amount of big collisions. And these are just 2 well-coached teams. They preach toughness. They preach finishing the play. The play doesn't end until the whistle is blown, the echo of the whistle. And nowadays, some of those are penalties. So, I don't know. It's hard to coach that way, and I understand it for the game, you know, but I don't think that Lawrence Tech is those aren't like dirty penalties. I think that is just playing to the whistle and the refs thinking that it was a little bit late.
So after all the penalties are sorted out, the Saints will take over at the 27-yard line. 8:53 left to go in a low-scoring affair. Close one, though, at 14-6. They give it to Gavin Day. And Day is able to avoid one tackle, stays on his feet, and he's going to be knocked down after gaining about half the length.
Tough run right there. Not letting the first man tackle you.
Andrew Perkins, he's slow to get up, and this is going to be a quick injury timeout, and that's not a good sign. Perkins, he had a really solid game against Ave Maria University, where he led in tackles, and he's one of the senior leaders, one of the captains. And so this would be a major loss for the defense.
Yeah, out of Oak Park High School, great high school program there, just pumping out D1 athletes left and right. Perkins is a transfer from Kentucky State. Hopefully, checking on the knee there.
Definitely don't want to have a knee or leg type injury. As a lot of conditioning sports, you want to be always cautious about the legs.
Yeah, and you know, we haven't seen too many injuries here. As I say that, we are looking at Alex Osman starting at quarterback, who did come in to replace Caleb Gardner simply because of an injury. When you have depth like that, it's Coach Brian Kelly. You know, I played 3 seasons under him, and something he used to tell us is next man in. I want everybody to prepare as if you're a starter. You know, and you never like to see guys get injured, but for the next man in, here's your shot, here's your opportunity. You know, hope you're prepared and practiced every day as if you were the starter. Went into practice like it's a game, because you practice how you play, or you play how you practice. Excuse me there. Vice versa, could go both ways, right?
So 2nd down and 6 for the Saints, as we saw Perkins walk to the sideline under his own power. You would think with his leadership and his determination, we'll probably see him later on in this game. Showing pressure. Boo Jr. dumps it off, and wide open is Gavin Day. And Day is able to avoid one tackle, and he's going to have to be forced down into Lawrence Tech territory nearby the 40.
Slipped right out there. Didn't even see him coming. Came out of the backfield. Now they're running a lot of these lead zones where you have 2 backs in the backfield on either side of the quarterback, and the running back in the front usually is the lead blocker. And on that one, they faked it. He was left wide open. If the ball was, Lawrence Tech is lucky that wasn't a better pass, really.
Quickly on it to Keenan Haley, and Haley's going to be brought down after a quick gain of 4.
Tick-tock, all these runs are, you know, the clock doesn't stop ticking, and I think this is the tempo that Coach Curry wants right now. You know, settle it down, slow the game down. Even though they're up, it almost feels like the momentum is on Lawrence Tech's side. So right now we see them taking back the momentum, the possession of the game.
2nd down and 6. They give it to Haley once more, and he's going to be brought down and lost a couple of yards there. Quickly on it. And that is Matt Plaga, as we mentioned, one of the toughest hitters on this defense.
Yeah, look at Matt Plaga, just wow. That's called shooting the gap. Shoot the gap. Don't wait when you see it, go. Make a decision. It's easier for a running back when the defender hesitates, because I'm making a move on you. I'm trying to take advantage of this space. I'm getting loose. But he didn't wait. Matt Plaga, 2-way player. Now we set up a long 3rd down.
Back to where it all started. Boo Jr., he's got to be chased down, able to dump it off, and he gets it to Haley, and Haley's going to be knocked out of bounds about a yard short. Brody Snyder with the knockout, and we'll see what Joe Curry plans on doing.
I know they didn't get the first here, but you got to be happy with if you're Coach Curry with the play of your backup quarterback, the young freshman out of Joliet West High School.
The offense remains on there for a 4th down and 2 play.
He had Dante Banton was breathing down his neck right there, and he had the calmness to be able to still get the ball out.
They give it to Haley. Haley's going to be stuffed up, and he is not going to gain it. And Lawrence Tech is going to take over on downs.
Wow, great stop. Is that Darian Murray with the stop?
Murray came from right behind and able to gobble him up.
Stonewalled him. Boom. Boom. Wrapped up. Ooh, and that's Dante Banton as well. Love it. I love it as an announcer that I don't even know who made the play because you see so many gray jerseys around the ball. That was a great stop. This defense is, hey, defense wins championships. I'm telling you what Lawrence Tech has put together with their defense, I feel like that gives them a chance in any game. This is, I'm really liking the way that they are attacking this game.
Both teams now with turnovers on downs, and Osman and the offense will take over from the 33. They give it to Tabert, and Caleb Tabert is able to cut the corner, and he's out of bounds after a quick gain of about 6, as we take a quick moment to say, join the powerful Lawrence Technological University Alumni Network. Connect, collaborate, and elevate your career with fellow industry leaders. Access exclusive events and opportunities. Be part of a dynamic community driving success. Join us today at ltu.edu/alumni. So 2nd down and 4. Approaching 5 minutes left to go. They play action here. Osman looking way deep down the field. He's got a man open. Good coverage, tight coverage. No flags are thrown. And that's Nick Mabutis who had the tight coverage on Jaden Rembert. Avon Mitchell's beside himself going up that sideline.
Yeah, I think right here what we're seeing is Alex Osman. He liked the matchup. He liked the matchup. Jaden Rembrandt's been out there doing work, and he liked what he saw. There was a little bit of collision, but I think he could have thrown it to the near sideline for a shorter pass, but.
3rd down. Osman again, looking in the middle, and he's got Jalen Wallace. Wallace continues on, and he's brought down inside the 40.
Jalen Wallace, just another weapon out of Bellevue High School. Great catch. Those are harder to catch than you think. When he's coming across the middle, the ball is coming at you with some velocity. Look at that pocket. Good ball. See, earlier on that last play, when I said he threw it to a man that wasn't really open and there was somebody else open, I don't hate that because what I'm seeing is trust between quarterbacks and receiver. And again, Alex Osman started the season as a backup, so you like to see some trust between him and the receivers.
Quickly out to Wallace again. Wallace got slipped up and his knee went down. That'll be a loss of 2 yards on the slip up.
And I think that was actually a called run. Again, the chemistry, the trust between quarterback and receivers. Now that play didn't obviously get meant positive yardage. You would like to see that, but they're on the same page is what I like to see.
So a loss of 2 sets up 2nd down and 12. They give it to Tabert. Caleb Tabert, he found the hole, and Tabert's going to take it up the sideline. There's a flag down as Tabert's going to be bashed out of bounds by Tumulty. We will check the penalty, but I believe this is going to go back against Lawrence Tech.
Good patience by Caleb Tabert, number 18, graduate senior out of Oxford High School. See, they had penetration. Good run. Keep your feet pumping. And I think what we're going to see is Kel Klatt, freshman receiver. He's out there. He's trying his hardest. He's trying to make a play for his team. I love seeing receivers downfield trying to make blocks. As a running back, you can't have long touchdowns if your receivers don't block. You watch the NFL. Watch these guys block for their running backs. They aren't just receivers. But you also have to teach them what you can and can't do. Right there, you kind of just got to let them go.
That would have set up 1st and goal. Now it's 2nd down and 10. Running options aplenty. They give it to Devon Bentley. And Bentley's going to be stuffed up, but he moves the pile forward for positive yards.
I thought they had him stopped for about a 2-yard gain, but just fell forward. And now it's a third. That was a good chunk play. Again, it sets up a little bit of an easier 3rd down. Coach said he wanted to cut down on those mistakes, like penalties. Don't want to shoot yourself in the foot. But it's not about how you start, it's about how you finish. So got an opportunity here to convert on 3rd down and finish this drive. We'll see.
That clock has been continuing to wind down. We're under 3 minutes left to go in this 3rd quarter. Play clock is inside 3. They're able to get it off in time. Play action. Osborne looking down the field. He's got Wallace in the middle and a mid-collision. No flag is thrown. It was right into the hands of Jalen Wallace, but no more tight coverage down that field. And it was Jalen Cooper who put on the hit.
Yeah, big hit here. He timed it out. Ooh, very close. Very close. Looked like he tried to time it up to knock the ball out right when he caught it, but
the offense is staying on there. They're going to go for it on 4th down and 6. That's the 2nd time on a throwing play that there's been hard contact and no flags. Osman moving forward and right into no man's land, nearly intercepted by Jalen Cooper. And that's going to be a turnover on downs. The 2nd time that Lawrence Tech has went for it and has not converted.
So this is good coaching for Coach Mitchell, something that he'll be able to cut up and show his team the importance and the power that a penalty can have over your momentum. Now that long run that we had to set up almost near the red zone was cut short by a block in the back, and then you can't convert. So what I do think is you go for it on 4th down there because you trust your defense. The way the defense has been playing, I think that's why they felt comfortable going for it there on 4th down.
Saints take over. They're going to give it to Gavin Day, and Day picks up a big hit, and right after he does so, unleash your creativity at Lawrence Technological University's College of Architecture and Design. From visionary concepts to hands-on projects, we nurture your architectural passion. Join us in shaping spaces that inspire. Enroll today and let your journey build wonders. Learn more at ltu.edu/architecture and design. 2nd down and 4. They give it to Gavin Day once more, and he's going to be stuffed up and lost a bit of yards there. Deontay Bannon again into the mix.
Wow, last week it was an amazing showing by Devin Isaac, defensive end. This week we get a heavy dose of Dante Batten, the other defensive end. They have some awesome run-stopping pass threats on defense. See, now it's 3rd down and 5, and it looks like the defense has a lot of rotators in here on this drive as well.
3rd down and 5. They fake the handoff. Carbo Jr. is going to run with it, and he's going to gain the 1st down as he's knocked out of bounds. And again, that's just another smart heads-up play by the young quarterback.
Yeah, he hasn't kept one in a while. He's been giving the ball to the runners each time and kind of milk. I think it's one of those where you lull the defense to sleep and they forget. And in a play like that where you only need a couple yards, that was a good heads-up play. You're reading the defensive end a lot of times as a quarterback. So you're reading the defensive end opposite the direction that the running back is flowing. And if the defensive end crashes, you keep it. If he stays home, then you give it.
One man jumped off, and that's Keemon White. We'll see what it is. 2 flags were actually thrown. We will see who jumped first.
There could have been some encroachment.
And it is a false start against the Saints, so we will back up 5.
Yeah,
Clock stops with 33 seconds.
Yeah, and again, this has been the clock has been moving a little faster in third quarter. You know, we expect to see that with two teams that run the ball a lot. And I just want to point out again, USF, they have a smaller offensive line. We got a couple 300-pounders in here, but their centers under 300 pounds, under 250.
Boo Jr. looking deep. He's got a man in Jordan, and there's a flag thrown for the coverage. The entire Lawrence Tech bench is in disbelief. Now, this could be interesting. They're trying to claim offensive pass interference, but we will see what the call is. And it appears it's not going the other way.
Yeah, the way they've been calling it today, I'm kind of surprised to see Laundry on the field. Yep.
And they will call it. And it's going to be against Mackenzie Alebra.
It's tough because, I mean, the coverage was tight. We'll see here. Good protection. Decent ball. Was it catchable? Where was his backhand? His backhand wasn't holding him down. I thought that was pretty textbook. Almost even athletically somehow didn't make contact, but still got his hand across and blocked the pass. But hey, you got to roll with the punches. The referees are a part of the game, and you got to win by more than that.
21 seconds left to go in this third quarter. Boo Jr. is going to run with it. Is able to cut the corner and gain of about 5. And that should be the last play of this third quarter, as the teams will try to set up one more time, but the clock continues to wind down. But as we go into this fourth quarter, the score remains the same. A tight game, 14-6. Who knows who might win it, but we'll figure it out. So stick around for the fourth quarter. St. Francis and Lawrence Tech.
Chevy Silverado has what it takes to do it all. With a TurboMax engine and a 13.4-inch diagonal touchscreen. Any truck can help you make a living. This one helps you build a life. Chevy Silverado.
Or GM employees with a current eligible lease can get this Silverado for $299 a month. Chevy drives the Motor City. Visit ChevyDetroit.com.
From our very first breath, curiosity is why we question everything. Through barrages of whys and how comes, it now needs the tools to will its vision into existence. Tools that allow curiosity to blur the line between technology and magic. Be curious. Make magic. The College of Arts and Sciences at Lawrence Technological University.
At Hungry Howie's, we're famous for flavor, and this is our Chief Flavor Officer. Every hour of every day, our CFO obsesses over the tastiest ingredients, combining them to create new flavor combinations your taste buds never knew they needed. Until now. Introducing his latest master pizza, the Bee Sting. Hot honey drizzle, classic cut pepperoni, and spicy jalapenos, or any 2 toppings. And our famous flavored crust. It's all the buzz.
Hungry
Howie's! After a super strong third quarter for LTU, you know, the message on the sideline is, you know, let's go out there and let's finish this. We have prepared, we're ready, we know how to win this. So let's go out there, let's battle, and let's close this one out and bring home a win for LTU. So definitely got a lot to look forward to. And the momentum, you know, going into this fourth quarter is very strong. So expect a good one coming up, John.
As we are up here, thank you, Kara. We got 15 minutes to sort out the victor of this matchup. Saints holding on to a 14-6 lead. They give this one off to Gavin Day, and he's going to be stopped up by correction. That's actually Scott Tumulty in for another snap. Gain of about 4, sets up 3rd down and 6.
It's a hard-nosed defense. Don't forget, they go against Lawrence Tech's offense every day in practice, and so they can stop the run. But we have a 3rd down, and if you're St. Francis, you are allowing that clock to tick, right? They're up. They have a backup quarterback in who's playing very well, but they want this game to end as quickly as possible.
And that's what they're doing as the play clock is inside 5. He's going to run with it. Bo Jr. able to get around his own lineman. He's going to be brought down and lose a couple of yards. The ball came loose. Lawrence Tech claims to have it, and they will take it over.
Hey, they're taught this. They go through ball security drills every single day in practice. This is what Coach Mitchell preaches all the time. Turnovers. The team with the most turnovers wins 90% of the time. See the ball on the turf right there?
And that's Matt Plaga who came away with it. But just a sea of Blue Devils was able to knock it out, and then just all the coverage in the world to secure the turnover right there for Lawrence Tech. Great shot by our team there too to get that fumble, and that's a momentum changer. Now, hey, finish. If there's one key to winning a turnover battle, it's also execution. Getting a turnover is one thing, but capitalizing is the other. Amen, brother. It's about how you respond. Play action quickly out to Jalen Wallace. Wallace is going to be stopped up after gaining about 4. Yeah, we've seen that play quite a few times today. Again, if you're going to give it to me, might as well take it. Coaches are showing a lot of trust in Alex Osmond today too, letting him throw the ball around. 2nd down and 6. Wallace went to the side. Nick Robinette and Charles Tigert lined up on that far side. They're going to give it to C.J. Davidson. Davidson able to cut through, and Davidson's got the first down into St. Francis territory. Once again, big number 28 follows his offensive line. He's over 100 yards for the day. Not surprised. And look, I love seeing my running backs compliment his offensive line. Number 78, Griffin Peacock right there out of Ohio with a great block. Fresh set of downs from the 45-yard line. They put Tabert in motion, and they go quickly out to him, and that play is behind him. It's a backwards pass, so the ball is still live, and Tabert has to fall on it, and that'll be a massive loss. That was an interesting play. The way that it developed, if you could see it from the stands, just about the entire Lawrence Tech team and St. Francis team flooded the near side of the field, but the ball went the opposite end, and it was a backwards pass. That's what they called it. So anytime it's a backwards pass, it counts as a fumble. So a loss of 9 sets up 2nd down and 19. Not what you really want to draw up. They rush 3. Osman. Pocket nearly collapsing in front. He finds his man in Jalen Wallace again. He avoids a couple of tackles trying to power his way forward, and he gets a chunk back. Yeah, again here, look at this pocket presence. Okay, they rush 3. You should be able to handle that. Step up. Plays not over. Get it out. Good fight. I'm seeing a great connection here with his receivers. Offensive line is doing a great job. Some big boys up there. So now 3rd down and 8. Trying to continue on this drive. They've reached the red zone 3 times and were not able to get it into the end zone. Osman with plenty of time. Good pocket pressure. He has to throw it as he got hit. A low throw. It's a battle for it. And I believe they're going to call it a catch, but there's 2 flags down in the backfield. And this could be going back the other way. We've seen penalties aplenty. They marked it a catch, but probably it's not going to count regardless of the result. Yeah, he had all day to throw the ball. Again, they're only rushing 3 guys. You have 5 offensive linemen, so you'd expect that. And it is a hold. And Alex Osmond took a hit. He took a hit there, and he was slow to get up. I thought maybe it would be a late hit, but let's look here. So we got 3 good double team right there.
He's looking downfield. Great coverage. And there's the hit. Wow, he may have caught that. Doesn't count in the stat book, but
Yeah, they were definitely had a hold on Pat Strosha, sophomore lineman, 6'4", 245. And now this is going to be a long 3rd down and 18. So 2 penalties have backed him up, and they were able to get yards back, but they find themselves going backwards once more.
yeah, I didn't see a blatant hold on that on that replay, but I'm sure it was in there. Look, there's holding on every single play. That's the truth. Every single play there's holding. It's about where your hands go. Sometimes your hands slip to the outside. Refs are going to call it every time.
3 receivers stacked up to that far side. Again, they rush 3. Osman with plenty of space in front. He jumps it off to Caleb Tabert. And Tabert is going to be brought down around the 40. He's going to be short.
We'll see what they do here. They've been going for it all day. And, this is kind of one of those spots where the defense is doing a great job containing St. Francis. I know it's 6 yards, but it'd be a long field goal. Let's go for it.
Twice, Lawrence Tech has turned it over on downs. And within St. Francis territory, you feel like the time's winding away. They bring in the blitz. Osman, more time to throw. He got his man. There's Jaden Rembert. Rembert's got the 1st down. He gets a block, and he's going to be brought out of bounds by Scott Tumulty. And it is going to be 1st and goal for Lawrence Tech.
That was man coverage there. You see the routes. Looks like they did a cross, and they may have done a little buckle route. Now, that was man coverage. And Scott Tumulty, one of the best players on the team, speed. He's tough. But he's playing so many downs, and I think that was just one where he got a little bit out of position. And Jaden Rembert, hello, making a name for himself today, man. Wow, it's all over the place.
Lawrence Tech was on the 2-yard line and failed to score right before the end of the first half. They give it to Tabert, and Tabert is going to be forced out of bounds right at the line of scrimmage for no gain.
This offensive line is huge. I mean, you got so much time as a running back. It's almost too much time. He was looking for a gap to open. And I think, you teach your running back whenever you're running zone, it's slow to fast through. Not slow, but you got to be patient, right? And right there, that might have been a case where, hey, just get north as fast as you possibly can.
Lawrence Tech would need a score and a 2-point conversion to tie things up at 14. Play action. Osman with time. He's got his man in there. Jaden Rembert in the end zone for the touchdown. Lawrence Tech is not going away anytime soon.
Alex Osman just went to a clinic on this play. I mean, if we can see his eyes, he's reading each receiver. Okay, get the fake, sell it. Number 1, he's reading number 1, not open. Number 2, number 3, number 4, patience right here in the space. Hey, you found a quarterback here. Now this play is important.
They're going to go for a 2.
That was his 3rd read. Good job. Good protection.
Out comes the edge, and he's going to be brought down in the backfield. The 2-point conversion goes to squander.
Now, just as we see how talented Alex Osman is right there, they take advantage of him because he either checks out of that play or that is on quarterback. Running back, you got to get across, but it's tough when it's that fast.
And that is Keemon Reese who rushed that edge. They read it just right.
Yeah, that's a big play by Keemon Reese and great play call. Great play call. Because now it's a 2-point ball game. But what that means for Lawrence Tech is all you got to do is get in field goal position. But we still have 8 minutes to go. 8 minutes, 44 seconds to be precise.
Still tuned in, man.
8:44 left to go, and this game continues to be closer than most would think.
Yeah, Jaden Rembrandt, he is having quite a day, and what I'm seeing between him and Alex Osmond is a lot of trust. Also, Jalen Wallace, got a lot of Metro Detroiters in here, love the high schools. Jaden Rembrandt out of West Bloomfield, Jalen Wallace out of Bellevue, and Alex Osmond out of Fordson High School, the Tractors.
So Dixon to send this away. The Tumulty brothers are waiting. Plenty of weapons. Scott Tumulty backpedals. He makes the catch on the 1 yard line. He's going to be chased down and is able to cut the corner. He gets some blockers in front, and he is going to be knocked out of bounds right at the 40-yard line. A good return by Scott Tumulty.
I don't know if audio just picked it up, but I saw 2 pancake plays on that, and unfortunately for Lawrence Tech, when you got starters out there on special teams, they might see some big hits, and Devon Bentley trying his hardest, but it happens. And you know that was the Tumulty brothers both right there, and you know their father was a college athlete as well, multi-sport athlete. So these kids obviously have it running in their genes. They're tough-nosed and fast. It's tone setters. I like that. That was a tone-setting block by the young receiver.
Lawrence Tech was able to take over on a fumble recovery and then get the score. Trying to hope for another, but Carl Booth Jr. has not made it easy. Play action. Booth Jr. with time. He froze it, and it's going to be low. Good coverage, tight. Right there by Darian Murray.
Yeah, that was tight coverage. Glad they didn't call the flag there, but it was a tight one. It could have gone either way.
And it looked like Carl Booth Jr. didn't get a lot on that throw. He kind of threw it flat-footed because he felt the presence.
Yeah, if I'm Lawrence Tech, you know, Devin Isaac, he's hungry. He's trying to get a sack, and when it's this time of the ball game, you don't want to shy away from the run.
They're going to give it to Haley, and Keenan Haley is going to be brought down after a quick gain. And while we have the moment, discover your passions at Lawrence Technological University's College of Arts and Sciences. Ignite your creativity, explore diverse disciplines, and unlock endless opportunities. Join us in shaping a dynamic future. Enroll today and let your journey begin. Learn more at ltu.edu/arts and sciences. 3rd down and 6. Defense looking for a critical stop. Play clock down to 5. Boo Jr. is going to run with it, and he's going to get the first down, and he is going to be brought down just past the 35. And Carl Booth Jr. again, just with heads up running, uses his legs.
Yeah, you know, sometimes this is what could work best with a young quarterback. You see the defensive line, they're rushing hard, they're rushing fast. Use that to their disadvantage, right? He overflowed. Jordan Lewis is a great defensive tackle at 310 pounds. He also has speed, and he felt like that was a great opportunity for himself. We had Devin Isaac was rushing fast, and that's the only risk that you have sometimes when you over pursue, is quarterback can step up in the pocket and take advantage.
Again, they run the play clock down. They give it to Haley again, and there's a flag down as Haley's going to be brought back for negative yards. We will check the penalty, and it looks to be against the Saints.
Is that Plaga again? Stonewall Plaga?
And it will be a hold against St. Francis, so they'll back them up 10 and we'll redo the first down play.
Yeah, so another penalty. You know, these are hurting both teams.
And one thing to definitely consider, the further this game goes along, it was the defense that kept them in the lead when they had it against Ave Maria, but now it's the defense that's keeping them in this within a 2-point game at this point.
Yeah, again, you know, it's the old theory, defense wins championships. And I know right now we get to see a lot of high-scoring offenses. The play call, the penalties are made so that it's against the defense's favor, but it's still true. It's still true. A great defense can keep you in any game.
So now another first down play from 20.
Looking to the sideline for the call.
Play clock again, inside 5. He's going to run with it again. He got slipped up, but he continues to move forward, and he gains about 5 back.
Yeah, and the offensive line, they're getting away with a little bit of holding there. See some jerseys that are, getting stretched a little bit for Lawrence Tech, but they're not calling it. And again, this offense, what they're doing is they're calling a play to get them lined up, taking their time. You see the center doesn't even have his hand on the ball. If they wanted to, they could snap it right now. The refs have blown the whistle, but they're milking the clock down. Now they're going to look to the sideline. Coach is going to tell them what the play is, and then that's when they're ready to go.
Second down and 15. They're going to give it to Gavin Day, and Day is able to stay in bounds, takes a hit, and is going to be out of bounds around the 30 to set up third down. And again, it's at the hands of Matt Plaga, the best hitter on this defense.
Yeah, big hit. Just wish I would have seen contain. Where's the contain?
So about third down and 9 coming up. But then you got to think, this is going to be a clock game from here on out with close points. This is only a 2-point game, 14-12. And the defense, they've been able to hold them at the 14-point limit.
Yeah, it's the first time these coaches are playing against each other, but I feel like they know each other. Because what I'm seeing right now, they're both holding their timeouts because they know what's happening. Oh, here we go. We see one right now.
Joe Curry will take a timeout, his first of the half, as he did let more time go down the clock. So it will be a basic clock management style game. Now, that's all in the hands of St. Francis at this point because they had the lead. But if Lawrence Tech was able to score and take a lead, in which they can with a field goal, it can easily work both ways.
Yeah, I mean, right now, St. Francis, if they don't convert right here, they can kick a field goal. And then they're up by 5, so that means Lawrence Tech has to score a touchdown. But that's all they have to do is score a touchdown. Like this is where you really got to start thinking numbers. You got to start thinking of how much time's on the clock. What does this play mean in terms of how the overall game is going to end, right? So that right there, that timeout, I was starting to, my coach senses were going off. I'm like, okay, who's calling a timeout? There's got to be one coming. But it was like a game of chicken. Who's gonna call the first one? Because now Lawrence Tech is in favor. They have 3 timeouts. St. Francis has 2.
And keep in mind, in the last matchup, Coach Yvonne Mitchell had to use a lot of his timeouts for his defense, and therefore he had none left within the final 3 minutes or so. Timeouts are critical when you need them the most, especially in the offensive side. And now back comes Carl Bowe Jr. 4:56 left to go, a huge third down play.
Crowd's getting into it. Big play.
The Blue Devil defense has kept them within it. They're going to give it to Haley. Haley had to bounce off his own man. Haley keeps trying to move forward, and he is going to be stopped up about 3 yards short.
Wow. It wasn't a bad run, really. It's like Lawrence Tech had him stopped. And again, they're playing right now. They're telling us what they're trusting in. We're going to milk the clock down. I love how Keenan Haley doesn't stop running his feet, and he delivers the blow too, guys. Like you saw Matt Plaga, he's been bringing the lumber here, but running backs can hit too.
The offense just standing around, probably the potential timeout again being called by Joe Curry. Standing by the official, they're going to let as much time go down as possible.
Think it's going to be a field goal that they're going to do, or?
Timeout is called. From this distance, it would be possibly a 45 to 47-yard field goal attempt.
And, we haven't really seen the kickoffs kicking deep yet, but he did use another timeout again. So that's value. To me, a timeout in a close game like this, the closer you get to the end of the game, the more valuable those timeouts become. And so anytime you spend it, you got to make sure that you take advantage of it. It's similar to like a turnover. You know, you got to take advantage of it. And I don't know if that timeout was called to draw up a strong 4th down play or to simply milk the clock down as much as you can so you can kick a field goal and force Lawrence Tech to need a touchdown to win the game.
But you probably can't be so overconfident within your squad within a 2-point affair and a freshman quarterback. Because if you use all 3 of your timeouts and there's still like 3 minutes left, that's still plenty of time for Lawrence Tech to take over and possibly score again. And we're going to see the offense back on there with Carl Bowe Jr. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Once the Saints have turned it over on downs.
I wouldn't be surprised with a run or a play action pass, but you know, it might be run. I
They do give it. It's going to be Carl Bowe Jr. He's got the edge. He's got a blocker in front, and he's got the first down.
Contain. Lost containment here. Let's see. Ooh, good block by the tackle. Yep. Good, great block. Was that Peyton Boji right there? Number 73, big 300-pound junior. Working on one of the best defensive ends in this conference, Devin Isaac. It's not easy to get on his outside shoulder. And again, he might not have had contain right there. It may have been a linebacker, but that's all you needed to get the first.
Inside the red zone, the Saints are at. They're going to give it to Haley, and Haley is able to get around and gain a huge amount of yards. About 6 on that run. And again, the clock continues to wind down.
Yeah, and again, so like we might be thinking, oh, do we spend a timeout if we're Lawrence Tech? Well, they haven't scored yet. And even if they would have gone for a field goal there, I was thinking that's not guaranteed that you make the field goal either. You know, so Coach wants to save those timeouts because he's got a young quarterback, and he knows no matter what, he's going to get the ball again, and they're going to try to march it down the field.
Definitely a game between both head coaches at this point. Little bobble on the snap. They give it to Haley. Haley tries to power his way forward, and he appears to have the first down, and now Coach Von Mitchell will take a timeout.
Chris Broad acting like Matt Plaga there, just filling the hole. He's only 5'6", 165, but packs a punch, and he's one of the great leaders on their defense.
They do actually mark him a yard short, so it'll be 3rd down and 1. But I think if you're in the eyes of the Saints on the far side, a field goal does not give you enough room for error. Because even though you have the clock in your favor and Lawrence Tech gets the football back, one score can easily make a difference.
It's a great point, John, because like we've seen it. Alex Osmond, he's starting to gel with his receivers. The offensive line is giving great protection. You know, like so you almost don't want to give them the ball back with any chance of winning the game. But what I would do right here is 3rd down and 1. You've been running the ball great, but I would try to run the ball towards the middle of the field. So just in case if you don't get it, it's an easier field goal attempt. But I would be surprised if even if they don't make the first, they don't go for it on 4th.
With almost nothing to lose at this point at this part of the field, deep within Lawrence Tech territory, and with the clock in their hands.
Well, again, Lawrence Tech has 3 timeouts.
2 right now after that one. Haley trying to cut the edge again, and he got pummeled out of bounds by Andrew Perkins. We'll see where they mark him.
Get on your horse. Look at this speed. He had the edge captured. We're not going to do it again. Don't let us do it again. Come on. Look at this. Boom. Look at all out effort. You talking about you want it? Matt Plaga wanted it. This is what you do in the offseason, man. This is why you play.
So it'll be 4th down and 1, and Von Mitchell's going to use his 2nd timeout. So both sides with one more timeout apiece. This is really getting interesting because of the score, because of the timing, because of every single play. It is literally now an official chess match between the two head coaches.
Yeah, you know, John, I didn't go to Lawrence Tech, and I kind of wish I did, because if I had, I would be able to have done the math in my head. I was trying to think about it. If they get the first down here and Lawrence Tech has 1 timeout left and the play clock is 30 seconds, what does that look like? They could almost, they'd get close to even not needing to score, as wild as that sounds. But, you know, Lawrence Tech, they still have that timeout left. Again, I love what I'm seeing from guys like Matt Plager right there, doing everything he could, every ounce aside of him to stop that first. We talked about with Coach Mitchell, some of these seniors that he has on his team now. Don't forget, this is a very young program here. They finally have guys who've been through the years. They got pride in it. This counts. This means something to them.
The offense remains out there. Huge play in this game. A 2-point affair.
I'd say the biggest play in the game as of yet right now. Look who's at running back.
They go to the far side. Boo Jr. He's going to be stopped up, and we'll see if he got the line.
Wow.
And he did not. And Lawrence Tech will take over again on downs.
Look at that. Get Scott. Look, we got good block. Hey, good blocking, good tackling, and look at the effort all around, guys. Man, either way, if you're a coach, you can't be. I mean, the effort from both teams. This is awesome.
And that was Derek Agers who was able to stop the momentum right there of Bo Jr.
You know, if you're looking for something to criticize or to get your guys to improve on, you could maybe say, you know, Carl Bu, lower your shoulder, get a little bit lower. But again, he's a quarterback, and I love that fight. It's football. It's football, and that was a great play. This defense, I mean, now it's on the offense. Hey, you got a chance. It's only 2 points, John, so all you need to do is get in field goal range, really.
2:19 left to go, both sides with a timeout apiece.
These kids are giving everything they got. This means something to them. It's important.
And a very interesting setup right here, a Wildcat formation. As you stand corrected, it's Caleb Gardner now into the contest. They give it to Jaden Rembert, and Rembert's going to be able to run it forward and gain about 5. So first time today that we see Caleb Gardner.
No, that was actually, it looked like that was a Wildcat. So they had running backs in it at quarterback. A little change up. I think Coach, he knows the stable that he's got in there. A little change up here, but they're rushing out on the field. Don't want to use that timeout now.
Osman looking to throw. He's got a man in the middle, and it's dropped by Jalen Wallace. It was into traffic. Jalen Cooper in the middle as well.
So this is the challenge, and I was bringing it up in the first half, but when you're trying to come back, march the ball down the field with 1 minute to go, and only 1 timeout left, this is what hurt them at the end of the half, and because they're only rushing 3 defensive linemen, and you have 8 guys back, all knowing that they're going to throw the ball. I mean, to only release 4 receivers, that's challenging. You got to get the ball out fast or try to knife them or something. It's tough.
3rd down and 5. They rush 4. He's going to dump it off to Rembert. Rembert's got the first down. He's going to get out of bounds to stop the clock and move the chains.
Headsy play. He's having quite the game right now. And as you mentioned, they rush 4. Way to get out of bounds. Don't have to waste the timeout. Got the first.
138. First down now at the 25.
That's where conditioning comes into play.
Definitely coming down to the wire. Lawrence Tech trying to seek for their 2nd victory. Trying to stop the winning streak of St. Francis. Again, they rush 3. Osman in the middle, and that was a bit of miscommunication, and it's going to be picked off by Jalen Cooper. St. Francis is going to take over at the 40.
Heck of a catch there. Looks like he got just underneath and might have been a miscommunication. Got 3, good pocket, and Yeah, may have had a guy that got knocked off his route a little bit. Errant throw in just the slightest, and sometimes it pays to be in the right place at the right time. And hey, game's not over. It's only 2 points. There's such thing as fumbles. I know very well myself. I fumbled in the state championship when we were trying to milk the clock down. Coach Fracassa likes to remind me of it every time I see him. I did recover it though, but it wasn't easy, John. So that's what ball security. That's what you're saying if you're coaching St. Francis here.
They give it to Haley, and he's going to run it, and quickly Avon Mitchell is going to use his last timeout.
Yep, and that's smart. So ball security, 2 hands on the ball. Don't risk it. And if you're Lawrence Tech, guys, rip the ball out.
While we have a moment during this timeout, join us October 7th as your Blue Devils welcome in Concordia for homecoming. Kickoff is at 7 p.m. right here on TV 20. 128 left to go in a 2-point game, 14-12. St. Francis, all their scores coming in the first half, and the defense has kept them within it. Lawrence Tech was able to get a score and was not able to convert on the 2-point conversion. And here we stand on the interception by Jalen Cooper. First pick thrown by Alex Osmond today.
Yeah, I would hate if that's how it ends for Osmond, because he's played a great game. And on Lawrence Tech, it's almost one of those situations where when they're dropping that many guys back, do we just run the ball, even though we know that the clock is running? But, if you're going to give us that much space, maybe I'm just going to punish you for it. And it's risky either way. But the clock is stopped, and now they got 1 minute and 28 seconds to go. We got Scott Million. Yep.
Tumulty takes his time, able to break through a couple of tackles. He's brought down and lost a yard, maybe back to the original line of scrimmage. The clock continues to wind down. No timeouts left for Avon Mitchell.
Yeah, they trust Scott Tumulty. I know he's tired. He's been playing Ironman football, special teams, defense, and they put him in every time there's an important play on offense. They're putting him in at running back.
Head coach Joe Curry is standing nearby. He's got one more timeout left, and this appears to be in the favors of the Saints. Victory formation. And give all the credit to Carl Bowe Jr., the freshman quarterback stepping in for Sam Tumulty.
Yeah, great game for him. Coach Curry, I'm sure that he's going to be excited to have his quarterback back, but this was a big test, an away game, taking the team on your shoulders, acting like one of the brothers, the Tumulty brothers, and he did a great job. So it was a tough game. It was a hard-fought game. I thought that both teams made some mistakes here and there, but it's a tough one to lose if you're Lawrence Tech. They played a good game, and both teams played well.
And the play that sealed it was the interception by Jalen Cooper of St. Francis. So the Fighting Saints improved to a 3-0 start to their season. Lawrence Tech drops to 1-3, and they'll be on the road for the next couple of weeks. On the road to Olivet Nazarene, and then on the road to Marion to start more conference play, then back here for homecoming against Concordia. And you really look at the performance on both sides. You got to give all the credit to the defense as well for Lawrence Tech, just to keep them from scoring here in the second half.
Yeah, you're right. They did. And, the Lawrence Tech's defense, from week one, I thought that they played really well. But they didn't. They had a lot of room for improvement. Then week two, I thought that they just turned it up. Today, we get to see what it's all about for Coach Mitchell in terms of what he has for the defense. These guys, they want it, man. They are out here giving it everything that they got, and they played great. Even if you look at the numbers on offense, I thought that they played really well. C.J. Davison was over 100 yards in the early on in the third quarter, and with those numbers, Coach Mitchell said it. He said if we rush for 200 yards, we win the game. And I think they probably got close, but sometimes, hey, that's how it goes. It's football. That's why we play the game. That's why you play until the clock hits zero.
Another real tough deficit win for the Saints after getting the 17-0 victory over their arch nemesis in the University of St. Francis of Indiana. That was a clock management but also timely scores, because the score was 3-0 at halftime, and then Sam Tumulty, the other quarterback, was able to take things away. So the final here from Southfield on TV 20, 14-12. St. Francis takes it over Lawrence Tech. We'll see you next time.
Grab a knee right here.
Commercial, not rap.
Because every athlete deserves to be treated like a pro. Henry Ford Sports Medicine.
From our very first breath, curiosity is why we question everything. Through barrages of whys and how comes, it now needs the tools to will its vision into existence. Tools that allow curiosity to blur the line between technology and magic. Be curious. Make magic. The College of Engineering at Lawrence Technological University.
At Alto Equipment, we know when it comes to getting your job completed on budget and on schedule, uptime matters. Alto Equipment has partnered with the biggest names in construction, including Volvo, Leeboy, Sonnenbogen, Avant, ASV, and more to provide the state of Michigan with industry-leading service and support. Alto Equipment services all makes and models, and their technicians are available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Do you have a big project? Alta Rents has you covered with the most diverse rental fleet in Michigan. Give them a call at 844-GO-TO-ALTA today.
Welcome back, everybody. The final 14-12. St. Francis out of Illinois takes it. We take a look at the final stats for both sides. Alex Ospen, freshman quarterback for Lawrence Tech, threw for 223 yards, and Jalen Wallace, 12 targets for 92 yards total. And then on the flip side, Carl Bowe Jr., 102 yards with the pass and 124 yards on the run. John Goebel, your thoughts on the dual quarterback? That is Carl Bowe Jr.
Hey, he did his job. He did his job. You know, whenever you're sending a quarterback out there who's young, inexperienced, like I said during the game, you just want him to not do too much. You know, hey, look, I know you're getting a shot, and this is everything you dreamed of, but just do the play, that take what's there, and be smart. And, you know, unfortunately for Alex Osman, I thought he played mistake-free for the most part, other than that last interception, and that's the one that ended up sealing the deal. But you got something to work on. You got something to improve. And, again, I think Lawrence Tech is an improving football team. I would not be upset about this loss too much, because I thought they played very well.
Only the second time in history between these two programs in which they faced off. And St. Francis has the 2 victories over Lawrence Tech. And you definitely think about offensive maneuvers within the second half, because both teams on offense had 2 turnovers on downs.
Mm-hmm. And you know what? If I guarantee you at practice what Coach Mitchell's going to be doing, closing out drives. He's going to be doing a lot of red zone work. He's going to be doing every situation and scenario. I mean, Coach Mitchell is a great coach. He cares about these kids. He thinks of everything. Like when we were talking about some of these drills, I'm like, Coach, can you just write a book and let me copy it a little bit, because I would love to use this stuff with my guys. And he's doing the right things. So are the players. It's going to turn into wins. The season's not over. Just like a football game, it's a long season. But now they got some real tests. Being away, being away brings up a lot of other things, distractions. So coaches are worried about distractions. You got to travel. Hey, did you pack all your pads? Things like that. I have forgotten knee pads to an away game before. Fortunately, it wasn't my helmet. But so, both teams, you got something to build on. I think that what we're able to see is good football. If you live in Metro Detroit, you need to come to a game. You got to check out Lawrence Tech. I'm telling you, this venue is awesome. Right now, we're looking at these buildings that are gold. I'm sure people are in these office buildings looking down and watching the game. It's pretty awesome, and I really like what Lawrence Tech is doing. It's known for its education, top education. People who graduate, great jobs out of here. But Coach Mitchell is a great leader for this school. They say the athletic program is the front porch of every college, and I think they're building something here.
Coach Mitchell often says that it's very tough to win a football game, and now he is standing by with Kara Lyles. Kara?
Coach Jaden Rembrandt, your solo touchdown of the day. What did you see from him on that play?
Just great determination. Great. He's a great athlete, a leader within our team. He's been growing continuously, week after week, year after year, so very, very proud of him.
Your defense kept the St. Francis team to just 2 touchdowns. What did you like about them today? They
were amazing. I mean, that's an offense that came in averaging 40 points per game, and they put up 63 in week 1. They shut out a great opponent last week, so what our defense did today was absolutely amazing. The takeaways, the grit, the determination, very, very proud of them.
And Coach, what was your message to this team after that loss?
I just told them we're all heartbroken. This is a tough loss here. We all expected to win this football game. I think we did a lot of great things within the game, but I did let them know, myself being the first kind of partaker in this, that we know the things we need to do to improve so that we can come out with the win in this situation. Really tough, but we'll get better.
All right, thanks so much, Coach. That's all from us.
Thank you.
Well, that wraps up our broadcast. You can catch us back here on October 7th when LTU takes on Concordia for homecoming. Thanks for watching, everybody.
This Lawrence Tech Athletics broadcast is brought to you by Chevy. Your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers are proud to be the automotive sponsor of LTU Athletics. Chevy drives the Motor City. Henry Ford Sports Medicine treats the whole athlete. To make an appointment, visit henryford.com/athletes. And Michigan First Credit Union. Michigan First offers a full range of financial products and services, including checking accounts, mobile deposits, student loans, and car loans. Visit michiganfirst.com for details.